Welcome to our Rolemaster actual play session. Twilight of the Old Order and Ain't No Place for a Hero are two campaigns currently co-joined, set in the world of Duranarki, the continent of men. In this gritty, cutthroat world, politics, religion, and commerce are all intertwined and reign supreme. Characters need to be both smart and ruthless to survive. We hope you enjoy our story, and, as always, may the dice roll in your favor. This is episode 135 of Twilight of the Old Order, and episode 112 of Ain't No Place for a Hero. The two parties have departed Jewel Island, and now are in the free city of Landana, where they are turning their attention to where next and what to do regarding their slain friend, Karios. We rejoin the story as Grey, Tarquin, and Jaeda are rushing back to the ship to attempt to preserve Karios' rotting corpse with godly magic. Hello, I'm Chris, otherwise known as GM Chance, and welcome to our Two Tales. Two Tales, why? Well, we have two campaigns, two games that have been running for quite some time, set in the same world, with largely the same plot lines at the same time in the same world, and for the third time, the six characters from one game, called Twilight of the Old Order, and the six characters of the other game, called Ain't No Place for a Hero, have co-joined. And there they are in screen, up in their full glory. There's a lot of them, 12 as you can see. In a second or so, I'm going to hand over the microphone to the players of those characters to introduce who they're playing this evening and describe a little bit more about that person. And then a little bit more after that, they'll answer either a character development question or share an image which tells a bit more about the character they're playing. Before I do so, my incessant, perhaps, thanks to our regular viewers, just recently, in fact, on the as it is on the Rolemaster Facebook page, there have been a couple of very, very kind comments. People saying that they are enjoying the game, they're liking the graphics up on screen, which is very nice. Thank you for the compliments, and just enjoying the stories. So, as always, this is something that we do in our spare time. This is something we do for fun. The fact that we're able to share it with the world, and the fact that some people in the world seem to enjoy what we're doing is fantastic. The usual request, please, if you are getting something out of this story, you're having fun, you're having a laugh, you're just enjoying the tale we tell, we would love either a like or, even better, a subscribe down below. It really does help the channel grow. Thank you. Right, no more further ado, handing over to the players to introduce who they're playing tonight. And as per usual, with our pre-recording, we kick it off with Pete. Take it away, please, Pete.
Hi, I'm Pete, and in this episode I'll be playing Leif. Leif is a half-elf warrior mage, which means he uses weapons as well as magic. He's a friendly fellow, very empathetic, and a really kind member of the party.
Kia ora, I'm Mason, and for this episode I'm playing Demos. He's a very attractive, very hunky, very buff mixed man. Really great with his spear and shield, and he can whip out some swords if he needs to. He's not the most intelligent person, but he makes up for it with a lot of kindness, a lot of gentleness, except for when he's fighting. And he's been with the party for a little while, has thoroughly enjoyed his time with them, is very much looking forward to saving the world, and on the side he is looking and hoping to find his long lost sister that was kidnapped a long, long time ago.
Hi, I'm Graham. I play Nyathonel Sherakir. She is a Magent, which is a mix of stealthy skills, fighting skills, and magic skills, mentalism, magic of the mind. She is a complex character, something of a religious fundamentalist who believes in assassination as a sacred endeavour. She keeps that well hidden, however. She is, however, a dab hand with a short sword and uses her magic and sneaky ability to good use in sneaking up on her adversaries.
Hi, my name's Giles, and for this episode I'm playing Tarquin. So Tarquin is a young, ridiculously good-looking half-elf. During his early life and adolescence, he's been well trained in the gentle arts of thievery, charming others using his remarkably good looks, and of course, violence. He is in his own way a religious man, and he's out looking for some understanding as to what's happened to his homelands.
Kia ora, I'm Alex, and for this episode I'm playing Karios. Karios is a young North woman. She's a weather mage, a pretty powerful weather mage with some very cool spells. She's quite sweet and kind, a bit emotionally labile, but wears a heart on her sleeve and a strong moral compass. She also has a companion, a cat called Victory, who's a very important member of the party, and Victory was rescued, oh there's Victory, a wee while ago from impending doom.
Hello, I'm Graham. I play Etienne Gilderflower. He is a genitrist, which is a type of paladin or holy warrior. He follows the teachings of Aphrodite, the goddess of love, and he believes that her will leads him on, and he makes decisions based on the dreams he receives or thinks he receives from his goddess. He has joined the party on the mission to, as he understands it, to save the old order, the world as they know it. He is a very charming, very good-looking man, a very eccentric man. Speaks in riddles and rhymes most of the time, but he believes on a higher purpose. He's a very dab hand with a sword, usually found in full plate.
Kia ora, I'm Pete, and I'll be playing Mithan in this episode. Mithan is a ranger. She's a high man. She's pretty good at outdoor skills, and she's a pretty good archer. She's not a people person. She doesn't really care about people's feelings, although she's beginning to in this party.
Hi, I'm Aiden, and I'm playing Gray. Gray is a very handsome half-elf who doesn't really believe in wearing shirts. He's constantly just displaying his body all the time, which, you know, he's got it, so he's flaunting it. He's got a bit of a tragic backstory. Pretty much everyone he's ever really cared about has been murdered brutally, but despite that, he's still a lovely guy. He's very caring, cares a lot about his teammates and also animals, loves animals, as he is a beastmaster, so he has the power to kind of, I don't know, not control, well, he can control animals, but he can also kind of interact with them and understand them and get them to help him do what he needs to do. And when he's not using his magic, he is a bit of a dab hand with an axe. He is very good at chopping things, chopping enemies, and also good with a little bit of stabby and a crossbow as well. He has a bird called Wingy that is his best friend that needs to have a bit more of a story, I guess. She'll come into it a bit more like down the road, I think. Yeah, that's great.
Hello, I'm Graham, and I play Severin Kaidegard, who is a human swordsman. A dab hand at the sword, has spent his whole life training in swordsmanship. He is a very charming fellow and fancies himself as a bit of a leader.
Hi, I'm Stara. I play Jaeda. She's a 6'7" Arab-looking woman. She fights with a quarterstaff, but not often because she's a healer. She grew up in a monastery where they adopted her, and she has just been taught how to heal, do martial arts. That's all she's done her entire life.
Hello, I'm Graham, and I'm playing Tanya Anastasia, who is an elven hunter. Dab hand with a bow. She has some outdoor skills, some very adept sneaky skills, and is an interesting personality, a little bit spiky, a little bit difficult to know, but inside, a good egg.
Kia ora everyone, my name's Anthony, and for this episode I'm playing Ascallion, or Ascal for short. He's a tall half-elf warrior mage who comes from the port city of Shabibi, and accordingly his favourite weapon is his ornate cutlass. As a warrior mage, Ascal combines his offensive and defensive spells along with his prowess with his cutlass and in unarmed combat.
Kia ora, my name's Pete, and I'll be playing Nicholas in this episode. Nicholas is a common man and a mentat by profession. That means he is a spell user, and he uses spells from the mentalism realm. Nicholas is a quiet and sort of unassuming sort of fellow. He doesn't like to draw attention to himself.
There we go. So hopefully now those faces up on screen make a little bit more sense. You've got a little bit of both who the players are, you've now seen the players' faces, and you also know a little bit more about the characters. So tonight is Wednesday night. We usually play on a Wednesday, and usually on a Monday I send out some character development questions. The idea is these questions are designed to just unpack who the character is a bit more. Oh, some chickens. Who the character is a bit more, both for the player's benefit, but also for my own and for our viewers. And just recently we've started, some people have been sharing images that reflect the character's background as well. So either answering one of the questions I send out or sharing an image. And tonight, we're kicking off with Stara. Stara, take it away for Jaeda, please. There, Stara?
Yeah, are the pictures?
Yes, just going. There we go.
Okay, so this first one is showing where Jaeda grew up. So behind you, you can see the Al Nayazar Monastery, which is in the Gazal Hills. That's her when she's a little bit older. Have we got the picture of when she's a bit younger?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Okay, so as you can see here, she's got very unusual eyes for the world that she lives in. They're very, very light green. Because of that, when she was about 10 years old, she got very bullied for it. That's why she looks so sad. It made her very quiet. That's why she's quiet now. And it's probably why her heart goes out to anyone who's suffering. So she did get raised to heal people, but it really is close to her heart because of what she went through. And of course, all of that happened to her, all the bullying made her faith stronger. So that's little 10-year-old Jaeda.
That's fantastic. I love that. And that is... I really love those two images. And you and I were chatting offline, Stara, that's a bit of the magic of AI. I mean, I think those are great. Encourage anybody else, if you want to jump onto AI and see what your character looks like a bit more, go for it. Brilliant. Thank you, Stara.
It doesn't do hands and feet very well.
It doesn't, does it?
The first few I tried, she had 4 toes and a giant finger. Made me feel quite ill.
Yeah, they can be a bit off-putting.
Hence the close-up.
Fantastic. Really cool images. Thank you for sharing. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you. Who would you like to hear from, please?
Mason, please. Can Mason talk about Demos?
Certainly. Demos, do you want
Hello.
to share... Hello. Great to have you back, Mason. Do you want to share an image, or would you like to answer a question, or do both?
I will answer a question because I have no pictures.
Sure thing. Sure thing.
So, discuss an event when your character had to confront a choice between supporting a political leader they admired and acknowledging the leader's flaws. How did they decide? So, I think back when Demos first met the party, he was hanging out with the Patrides
family, and he had quite a bit of respect for them. You know, they took him in. The family that he used to sort of work for had a great deal of respect for this family as well, which is why he was able to travel there. And he'd heard whispers and I guess like rumors about some of the violence and the brutality, but he kind of brushed it off and just didn't really think twice about it. But then they were when the party came, they had like a massive dinner, and the leader of the Petrides family talked about this really like brutally violent act that he just kind of did for no other reason than to just be a dickhead.
Yeah.
So it really made him question kind of everything he'd sort of done for the family, and he was kind of grateful that the party sort of showed up when he did, when he sort of found this out, because it meant he could just quietly leave without really having to confront anything. But he knows that he definitely won't be going back anytime soon, because lots of violence, and he's just not. I mean, don't get me wrong, he loves to stab the bad guys, but
he is also it is claimed that he, along with the rest of the party, also assassinated a key religious figure in Pytha as well. So that might be another reason he may not want to go back.
Well, yeah, that too. I mean, it's just
minor technicality.
minor thing. It's fine.
Yeah, there you go.
He didn't actually do it, so.
So long as his conscience is clear, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Lovely, Mason.
Cool.
Thank you. Who would you like to hear from?
Let's hear from Giles.
Hi, thanks. So the question Tarquin wants to answer is the same one, I guess. So when Tarquin had to confront a choice between supporting a political leader they admired and acknowledging the leader's flaws, I guess Tarquin had a very cloistered upbringing. He particularly admired the leader of his village, who ruled with an iron fist, brokered no ill discipline, and punishment was swift and sometimes permanent. And Tarquin liked that. Everyone knew their place, and it was pretty clear how things were to be. However, having spent a bit of time in the world, he realised there were lots of ways of running things. And on return, found himself particularly challenged by this, what then seemed to be somewhat rigid approach. And how did he decide? Well, the decision was made for him as his village was ransacked, leading to his leader's death, avoiding the need to make a decision, and indeed part of what sent him out into the world.
Excellent.
And I'd like to pass it over to Pete.
Pete.
Thanks, Giles. For my three characters, I'll answer the same question. How does your character feel about magic, and are there specific types of magic they find more acceptable or repulsive? So, for Leif, he hasn't typically been a believer, so channeling magic has not been something he's sort of really got. It's magic from the gods, not something he's accessed. Fine though, each their own. For Essence, that's his realm. Yeah, it's all good, that's what magic should be like. And Mentalism, a bit wary of that, but it's, he takes people as they come, it's another sort of magic. But for Leif in particular, he is fascinated by a type of magic called wish magic, and it's actually one of his quests. He's after this book called Bel Orak, the Valiant Ultimate Hex of Dispersed Wonder. There's rumoured to be a copy of that in Tarek Nev, so he'll be keeping an eye out for that, if and when we go there. And this wish magic is, it's got an element of randomness to it, but it's sort of you cast a spell and just sort of, hopefully the intended consequence that you have happens, and you've got a selection of things that you might be intending for the spell to do, but sometimes it's a bit random. So it's quite a powerful spell to learn because you get multiple spells off that you can sort of pick and choose from, but then you get a wonderful surprise of it going wrong. He's always been fascinated by wish magic. For Mithan, she doesn't really hold much with magic, although she can cast it. She has learnt to do healing, and her realm is channeling, so she gets that through gods, or in her case, the goddess of the wild, basically. But she doesn't exactly worship her. She is just so dedicated to the natural world, that the healing magic, she channels that healing magic just naturally without her being particularly magic-y about it, if that makes sense. She distrusts essence magic, as it can do a lot of damage, and she wants to avoid that, and isn't so fond of mentalism magic. Yeah, it's a bit creepy. As far as Nicholas goes, he thinks essence magic is a bit flashy. Channeling magic, oh well, it's all very well and good, but keep it to the priests. He thinks mentalism is where it's at. It's more subtle. It can have great power when used right. Yeah, it's an art, he would say, and it's also the way in which he operates and does his research.
Cool.
So,
Nice one. Thanks,
yeah. Can we please hear from Graham?
I'll stick on that topic actually. So working through characters, what they think of magic. Severin, first from Twilight, he knew very little about magic, really, at all, until he kind of started hanging out with the party, and is absolutely fascinated by it. And he's pretty chuffed that he's got a few items in which he's able to cast spells through, and he gets quite a buzz from that. But yeah, he's quite inquisitive about it, and I think he'd probably talk to Gray and Nicholas and Jaeda about the spells that they cast, and that's cool in terms of, he's just quite interested in the whole thing, really, even though if it's not really something he's able to do other than through his weapons. He doesn't really have any preferences or thoughts about the different various strains, unlike perhaps Tanya, who's kind of, I guess, slightly suspicious about the whole thing. Certainly not a religious person, so particularly suspicious about channeling, and she's a bit sort of disconcerted by all these talks of gods and how this is wrapped up in their adventure. So probably a bit suspicious there. Whereas Etienne, magic is the everyday living proof of his belief in his beloved deity. So she sends him powers, and he's able to utilize them, and he obviously gets an enormous buzz from that. That her bestowing her service upon him. Whereas Niathanol, very interested in magic, will try and learn as much as she possibly can at every avenue. Quite interested in, whenever he's city, trying to discover new tips, new tricks, new things that she can learn. Is trying to learn as many spells as she possibly can. Only really knows about mentalism, although kind of in her mind binds it up with her religion anyway, even if the power doesn't technically come from her god. In her kind of mind, it probably does, rather than herself. The two are kind of blended.
Excellent. Thank you. Excellent insight. Who's next? Who's next, Graham?
All right. I'm just talking to myself. Who is Aiden with us now? He looks like he might be.
Aiden is with us.
I am.
Hooray!
Hello. Hooray!
All right.
I'm keen to stick with the same question.
Yeah, sure.
With Gray, I think he finds the kind of magic that he kind of identifies with and likes is stuff that is like natural or related to natural things. He's a beastmaster. That's kind of what he understands. What he doesn't really understand, what kind of creeps him out, is things like mentalism, things where people take over your mind, they can control you. He's always found it a little bit creepy, especially after being in the Upside Down, where he kind of lost control of his body. Didn't like that. And also things to do with the dead, I think definitely would creep him out. He's not super into that, which is interesting because that's what he's going to have to rely on to bring back Karios. So he's willing to bend.
Excellent. What the things we do for love, huh?
Exactly.
Things we do for love. Excellent. Aiden, great to have you on board, and excellent.
Great to be here.
Good stuff.
Is there anyone who hasn't gone yet?
We do have Alex who is listening tonight. I don't know, Alex, if you wanted to say hi to your faithful fans or not, but Alex is just listening in tonight because she is currently characterless.
And then please.
I'm not going to answer anything because, I'm dead.
Okay.
Hopefully not for long.
Hopefully.
Yay.
Well, you guys rolled really well last week, so let's see what happens.
Eskel's turn.
Oh, yes, thank you. I thought no, we haven't. So we are missing Askel. Anthony.
And should be your image right there for you.
Oh, an image, hang a sec. I'm just going to flash Askel up on screen. That's Askel, for those that don't know him, and then we'll go to the image. Here we go. I might just have to move that down a smidge. Oh, there we go. Cool. Hang on, I'll just move it into a larger... There we go, that's better. Cool, yeah, tell us about the image.
Yeah, so obviously not the two round things above it. It's the image at the bottom of it. And so it just sort of represents on the left. So Askel was born and bred in the city of Shabibi, a port city, and is very hot, warm sort of city. It's what he's used to and loves. But unfortunately, he has this thing about the other side of the image of cold. He really, really despises cold, so much so that it actually impacts on his ability to operate. In the mechanics world, he's operates at a -30 penalty across everything when in the snow or ice. So I guess if the party ever needs to go anywhere cold, Askel's probably going to be a bit reluctant, or he's going to need lots and lots of layers. So even with probably Karios and those ice walls in the in-between, he probably would have had a few chilly flashbacks of seeing those guys up. But yeah, there's a little weakness of Askel's. Keep in mind.
Excellent. I love the image too, and he definitely runs hot, does our friend Askel. Excellent. Thank you very much indeed. So there we have it. Up on screen are indeed all 12 characters. Very well introduced by everybody. Now's the time we turn to Pete to provide a summary of what happened last session. I don't happen to have a little handy folder with a lot of images up, Pete, but I might flick through a few more of Landana, the city that you're in. But if you could take it away and describe what happened, and then we'll kick it off.
Sure thing, thank you. But please, everyone else, feel free to chime in. It wasn't my characters didn't do a lot of actions last time, so you probably wouldn't fill in more details. But we had just arrived at the city of Landana. Our priority was to seek preservation for Karios, and so our wonderful team of 3 went out. That was Tarquin and Jaeda and Gray. First we started the session by discussing what our plan was, but then Tarquin, Jaeda and Gray went out into Landana. Tarquin on the lookout, all 3 of them on the lookout for one of Tarquin's contacts. We'd also made an arrangement with someone from the ship for them to make some inquiries on our behalf as well, and we were going to meet, although we're going to come and drop information off at an inn or a tavern that Tarquin knew about the drowned rat. Gray, aka Silver, and Jaeda, aka Janet, and connected with the innkeeper of the drowned rat where Tarquin had stayed before, and to ask that person, and I think it was a very impressive charm roll, I believe,
it was,
that got him to talk about temples and the best place to go for healing and preservation of a body. They got advice to head to the Temple of Hera, who's the priestess of healing, who's one of the old gods, part of they are worshipped in their own right, the old gods, but they are also part of the Roldenic religion as well. Is that my understanding of how that works?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So Yeah, well, the Church of Roldan has the saviour, Roldan, who was sacrificed and things, but people, followers of Roldan, also acknowledge the old gods,
Yeah.
which. So Hera is one of those old gods, and so they made their way to the temple of Hera, and talked to the door lady. Don't know if we actually caught her name, and the door the door lady, I think, was also reasonably charmed by Tarquin, and as luck would have it, the high priestess, they got it, sought an audience with the high priestess, and managed, and she, as luck would have it, she was in. So there was no delay in consulting with her and making an arrangement in which she agreed that she had time for us to, if we were quick, to bring Karios' body to the temple, where she would hopefully, or she or one of her priests would hopefully cast the preservation spell on Karios. I think that's pretty much where we left it. They were just about to, or had declared, they were sort of making their way quickly back to the ship. Yes, what did I miss?
Perfect. Did anybody else have any? I've got a couple of minor things, but did anybody else have any comments?
I believe the lady at the door was Michelle Pfeiffer.
Ah,
I was just about to say that too.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I was going to ask her name.
Sister Michelle.
Familiar looking.
Sister Michelle.
Michelle.
Sometimes the GM runs short on images because he doesn't get a chance to create them. That's Sister Michelle, yes. Any other points of clarification?
Do we owe royalties or something? I mean, how does this work? We have a whip round.
Yeah, we could.
Chris, there's a couple of quick actions that Tarquin will do en route on the way out.
Sure thing. We'll do that when we get to it, because you guys have just stepped out. This is the temple of Hera here. The three characters described have literally, they're on exactly that cursor. So you've just stepped out the front door, and we'll come to that in a second. Anything else I've missed from previous ones? Or anything missed, and I'll touch on a couple of things. Nope. Okay. Firstly, just for viewers' benefit and to remind players, time is important. So Karios has been a good part of Karios' body that has now been dead for about 39 hours, I think I said before. I'll tell you that. Yeah, it was 39 hours. A good portion of her body, and critically, thanks to some great work from Jaeda, very critically, her brain has been preserved, and her limbs have been preserved, and a few of her internal organs have been preserved, but parts of her torso and her face, etc., haven't. It's very hot, it's very steamy, you can hear the mosquitoes and the heat and the slime and the rain coming down in this kind of decrepit, falling apart city on the swamps. And Karios is beginning to smell not great. So time is absolutely of the essence. And I said from day one when Karios died, it would be down to the roll of the dice to see if she survived. And last session, pre-arranged by me, there was a set of tasks that happened, and perhaps some more tasks that might happen, that might be time dependent. So very first off, the ship docked, and it was slightly delayed. It was only 30 minutes delayed, which was pretty good. There was a slight issue with another ship getting in first, and there were some other things that could have significantly caused time delays or problems or issues for people. Generally, you all rolled really well, and I would just like to point out that Tarquin, who is not, I think we confirmed this last time publicly, Tarquin is not a member of the old god's faith, somehow managed to make an amazing roll and convince this priestess that he was indeed a somewhat lapsed, but a believer. And it was that crucial point that he was a believer, even if he hadn't been to church and temple for a while, that really was enough to swing it. And for her to grudgingly agree that yes, she would be prepared to help another member of the faith. She didn't like the look of Jaeda as one of these El Tumar people who worship very odd, very sinister gods, in her opinion. And also, she did indicate that this, of course, is a service that they wouldn't dream of charging for, because, of course, this is power from the goddess, Hera herself. But the priestess did... how would I phrase this? Strongly encourage that a donation would be appropriate. I just want to check the priestess's name.
Adeline.
Adeline, thank you. You beat me to it. Yeah, she was quite keen for both a donation, and she also indicated, and she asked of the somewhat wayward follower Tarquin, if the person who was revived, whoever that person is, because she hasn't seen Karios yet, if that person would be, or she has requested that that person be in service to her, and she didn't specify exactly what that was, and Tarquin, Jaeda, and Gray agreed. That was pretty much it for me, other than to say the weather, as you can hear, is raining. It's not raining hard, but you know it's drizzling. A couple more images of Landana as well that I just want to share with you. Just a couple more street scenes just to kind of get you in the vibe. So that's kind of the port. There's a whole mixture of different kind of architectural styles here. You can see the kind of the rotting, decaying docks there. You'll remember there was some problems actually finding a dock to dock against because the piers were kind of rotting and falling into the swamp or into the pretty disgusting looking harbour. As the three party members have gone through the streets, there have definitely been different kind of architectural styles, more perhaps northern styles here, and certainly no lack of stray dogs and things like that in the streets. You know, a few more street scenes. This is definitely a lot more kind of Empire of Thumazul Arabic type architecture, and another image there. I did mention the Grand Bazaar because the Drowned Rat was quite close to the Grand Bazaar, and indeed the Grand Bazaar is a pretty impressive building, and indeed this is it here. So you can see the Grand Bazaar in the distance. The Drowned Rat is kind of round this corner a bit more. Quite impressive building. Another view of the harbours, as some of you, well, as the three of you were walking away, you did actually kind of leave from this area here, but you've bypassed the harbours a bit, and then just two more last scenes just to give you a flavour of the place. Downtrodden, dirty, a lot of people that don't look as though they've eaten a lot recently, a lot of beggars. Everything is covered in creeper and vine. The ever-present jungle and ever-present swamp just seems to be constantly intruding on these buildings. It seems like humans are constantly trying, it seems like, to trim this foliage back and not winning the battle. So, that is where we're going to begin. I'm gonna, unless there's any absolute qualifying questions, I'm gonna kick us off. Anything else, guys? Oh, let's start the game. So we are going to begin back in the cabin. As mentioned, Karios' body is beginning to smell a bit, and all of you are perhaps pretending that it's not. I'd just like to, and it's getting on for time. So the ship docked at 6:30, and you have been keeping very accurate timing because there are bells from either a church or a temple or something that sound regularly on the half an hour. just like to go around, and time has ticked on. It's now around 9 a.m. and still no sign of either Jaeda, Tarquin, or Grey. I'm going to go down through each character and just talk me through what they're doing. Askell, is there anything? And if there's not, no bother. But Askell, anything particular that Askell's doing?
No, if we got in that early, he's probably just found a comfy corner and cuddle up to have a snooze.
Okay, sure thing. Moving on to our trusty spearman, Demos. Your legs have healed. Happy to say, sorry, not your legs. Your injuries have healed. You're feeling a lot better. Your companion Karios is dead in the room with you. Anything that you're doing, saying, thinking, etc.
He's probably just very quietly scrunching his nose a little bit because of the smell. But otherwise, no.
Okay.
Nothing else.
Okay, sure thing. Grey will come to you in a minute. Jaeda will come to you in a minute. Nicholas, Leif, and Mithun.
Nothing of note from them. From our knowledge of preservation of bodies, is there anything would it help to wrap her up tighter? Keep insects away from her?
Yes, that probably would help.
Yep. Well, I suppose perhaps safe to say we might have done that previously if we'd sort of thought of it. But if we hadn't, they would certainly work to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping her. Any other things that occur to us about how to help preserve her, just from a general knowledge or a...
Give me a general knowledge roll if you like.
Sure.
Masked.
Oh, glad it's masked. That's 9.
9. Okay, and what's his general knowledge?
Well, Nicholas has got 58 for general knowledge.
Okay, cool. I mean, you've done as much as you can, as far as you know. You can't think. You can't think. I mean, short of getting a body in. No. As much as you know.
Cool. I suppose Leif will be peering out portholes. He'll be anxious. And keeping Karios company and looking after Victory. But no, nothing particularly that they're doing.
Okay. Victory, by the way, Victory the cat is very, very quiet. She's just curled up at Karios' feet. Her ears are down, and she's barely moved since Karios' death, other than being moved off the beach area and onto the ship.
Yeah, well, he'll comfort Victory as much as he can.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. And Graham, your 4 characters, please.
I think it occurs to Etienne that at some point we're going to have to move Karios. We're going hoping, unless the help comes to us. He just raises with the group the wonder. I know he doesn't want to be disrespectful, but he's aware that Karios' face and appearance is probably known to people, and he suggests that he wants to sound people out on whether, and if anyone finds it disrespectful, he will understand. But he wonders whether it might be wise not only to bind her face, but actually possibly even cut her hair. I mean, I don't know how everyone feels about that, in the sense of actually just making some effort to change her appearance as best we can, if she's to be looked at by someone and we don't know who. And how does the party feel about that? In terms of what the rest of the party's, my lot are doing, Severin will, if he find a porthole, he won't stick his face in it, but he just wants to keep an eye on what's going outside, and he's just taking an active interest in who's lingering around, who's looking at the boat, and obviously looking out for Tarquin and Grey to come back.
Sure. Okay. And Tanya?
Tanya, yeah, no, she's not doing much.
Okay. Does anybody respond to Etienne's question?
Yeah, Leif would agree. Would want to seek consensus from the group as well, but feels it's a prudent move. And from our knowledge of Karios, she seemed practical. She wasn't particularly proud of her hair, and I think that wrapping her face completely might be part of that preservation-y sort of thing. Anyway.
Yeah, I think
her head.
cutting off the hair would it just, I don't know. It may make no difference, but it will grow back if she makes it through. But we might further our enterprise here if she did look demonstratively different.
A pixie cut.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And and if I don't know if she wears eye make, and if she doesn't or already has any, but we could blacken her eyes and do something that if I don't know if she gets looked at by a Roldenic person, they won't go, oh my god, it's so and so.
What about an undercut so she can tie it up and look a bit bald, and then put it back down and feel like herself afterwards?
Sure. Black Francis, I think the answer is the answer to that. Or Francis Black, wherever he goes out these days. Goes as. But anyway, yes. All right. Well, I mean, Etienne will certainly assist in binding the body and respectfully cutting the hair as best he can. And if we have any kind of eye blackened charcoal or anything, he will put that very gently around her eyes.
Probably quite a tough thing to do. This is someone that you've had fun with. This is someone that you've known for not a long time, but at least some 2 to 3 months and liked. It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
Okay. Noted that Severin's keeping an eye out. Could you just give me a perception roll, please, Severin?
He rolled a 30.
30, it is masked, of course.
And his perception is plus 72.
Yeah, I mean, you've found a place not shown here, but there are a couple of. There's not actually a selection of cutlasses up on the wall. There are a couple of portholes both here, and on the opposite side. And you're keeping an eye out this one here, onto the shore. It's quiet out there. It's raining. Pretty dreary place, hot and sticky. Not a lot of people around. There's really very, very little activity on the docks. You do note quite easily, Severin, that there doesn't really appear to be much in the way of weapon restrictions in this place. As a newcomer, you've certainly seen a number of people certainly walking around with swords and the occasional axe on a belt or things like that. It's not a restricted town by the looks of it.
What about armor?
I described a little bit last time. Again, I kind of make this distinction between personal protection weapons versus weapons of war. So, and gear of war. So, you might see a little bit of chainmail occasionally. But other than the city guards, who have kind of a mixture of chainmail and a bit of plate, pretty much all of it's rusting, by the way. People aren't like kitted out in suits of armor. That would be weird. That would be kind of. It would be strange to see someone walking around like that. And again, you don't see, lots of people tottering around with spears and things like that, or bows. But certainly, a good number of people are carrying swords. There are a few axes in people's belts and long knives and things like that. Staves, people are equipped. All right. Anything else from Team Team unnamed boat I should know about? Oh, okay. Heading back to the Temple of Renewal. And hopefully, if the dice smile on everybody, yeah, we will keep it all in the same session. So, the three of you, just gone pretty much 9 a.m. You're kind of almost stunned with your success. Tarquin's going, I don't know how modest or immodest Tarquin is, but maybe he's feeling rather chuffed with himself. Certainly, Gray and Jaeda, you don't know this guy. In fact, you've only known Tarquin. You all have for a matter of about 3 or 4 days now. But he's certainly had a very, very smooth tongue to be able to talk his way through that. The three of you on the literally have just stepped out of the doors here. What do you do?
So, before we leave, Tarquin's going to turn to our door lady, the healer Michelle, and quickly tell her that on our return we might be coming as two parties, and if she would be so good as to treat Janet and her companions, with the sort of favour I'll bestow upon her tonight when she knocks off at 10, it would certainly be in both of our interests. To remind her of our later catch-up.
Okay. Well, she kind of gives you this kind of coy look and just smiles and gives you a wink.
I'm going to ask her if we return with a cat in our presence, if that will be a problem.
No, Priestess Aveline loves all animals.
And while I'm talking to her, I'm going to cast Study on her, having spent 30 seconds, so I'm as prepped as I can be.
Yep, sure. Give me a roll.
82.
82. That spell was successful.
Very good. And now I'm going to turn back to Silver, aka Grey, and Janet, aka Jaeda, and suggest we get back to the boat as quick as we possibly can, bearing in mind it's raining, but the footing is reasonably stable.
Grey and Silver and Janet, anything particularly from you? And also, I'd just like to check with Silver, what happened to Wingy? What happened to Wingy?
He definitely didn't bring Wingy with him because I think she would have drawn too much attention.
Okay.
Silver would just be incredibly impressed at Tarquin's ability to talk to women and also slightly jealous. But yeah, he's got a newfound respect for him.
Cool. All right.
Very impressed.
Cool. And Jaeda?
It is. I was so happy that Tarquin said he was a believer and she believed them. That there's no charge, all of that, and very keen to get out of there because she can sense that they don't like her and she's getting nervous.
Okay.
So she'll pull her hijab down extra low and yep, go as fast as she can.
Cool. Very good. Cool. I'd like someone brave, could be anybody, doesn't have to be those three, although it could be those three, somebody to make a dice roll, please.
I'll roll.
Sure thing.
15, uh-oh.
15.
Maybe the length of time it takes to get back, that could be a great roll.
Oh, you never know. At least it gets a low roll out of the way.
Okay, interesting.
Oh no.
All right. Hang on, I'll just have a think.
No.
Yeah. Okay. So. Okay. A bit of prep there from the GM. Interesting roll. Thank you. I am going to ask. I've had a quick think, and I am going to ask for Team Boat please, if you guys could kindly exit into chat room 1. I have no idea how long or how short this is going to be because I didn't have this planned. So enjoy chat room 1. This is a good time to perhaps chat about future plans, what you want to do, price of whatever you want. I don't know. Have a chat. But if everybody on Team Boat can jump into chat room 1, please. Thank you. And oh, we've lost Mason. That's right. All right. Tarquin, Gray, and Jaeda. So you're moving as fast as you can away from the temple. Time is absolutely of the essence. Tarquin, you don't know the city super well, but you know it well enough, and you're able to find your way from the boat to the Temple of Renewal in about 45 minutes, and that included going through the market. So the distance is probably only about half an hour or so back to the boat, perhaps even a bit less, 20 minutes or so. But whatever it is, on this particular trip back, you're walking along, and you're walking as fast as you can. Perhaps it's because of the speed. Perhaps it's because you really, really want to hasten back to your companions that you miss it. You miss the wrong turn. You actually think if you head down that way, and then that way it's kind of a shortcut, and you can almost see and smell the waterfront, and you take a left, and you turn a corner, and you kind of not immediately, a little bit further in and down the way, that the sound of the crowd kind of dissipates behind you. Definitely less people around. Definitely quieter. And the buildings around you are definitely getting more and more ramshackle. And you turn a corner, and you see the waterfronts in front of you. So maybe that's good. But as you turn the corner in front of you, you see two kids, teenagers, whatever, right in front of you. Probably, say, 20 or so foot away. First one looks like this. He's crouching down, actually, pretty much like that. Second one looks like this, and they're thin, like they're painfully, they haven't eaten a lot recently, and they both look up. They were kind of chatting, pretty much in that position. One kind of crouching down and one standing up, kind of chatting as you came towards them, and you didn't really pay them much notice. They were just people, but the guy on the ground. This guy here looks up, and he looks at the three of you. Tarquin, you're in the lead, and then I just arbitrarily put Jaeda in the center, and then Gray behind. Tell me if that's not the case, but that's what I thought might be logical. And he kind of has a bit of a puzzled look on his face, and he's looking in your direction. What do you guys do?
Oh boy. Shall I go invisible? Would you want to run?
I think if we by the water, we should speed up to a run, get to the water, and work out which way we need to go to get to the boat. So can you go invisible? If you were able to go invisible after we're out of their line of sight, so they don't see it happening.
I'll start preparing and then run.
Can we do that?
We don't want to blow cover for the whole group.
Run and prepare.
Yeah.
Can you wait? 90%. What is preparing?
That's only in rounds.
So, sorry, I'm just going to go. Sorry. So no, this is while you're chatting, by the way, amongst the characters. So just quickly, any actions from Tarquin and the leads?
I'd say let's run, and I'd increase my speed to a run to the water.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So he just as you're kind of saying let's, says you look tired. I think it. Are you all right? You look tired.
Who is he, Chris?
The guy on screen.
I ignore him and take off.
Okay. So this is the situation. Gray, Tarquin, sorry, Jaeda, Tarquin. He gets to his feet just as you're beginning to move, and a club is suddenly in his hand, and this guy here has a hand axe in his hand. And I think we're into initiative, by the sounds of it. Unless anybody's tell me if you're saying or doing anything.
Sorry, are we walking towards them, or are they behind us?
So you came from this direction, turned down here, and just as kind of you got to this point and went, oh shivers, we've gone the wrong way. He was crouching here and has got to his feet, and this guy was already standing here, and you can see the harbour is over here in the background. So you were walking this direction.
We are heading towards the harbour, aren't we? We can see it, so we're not going to get lost now.
You don't know.
We shouldn't.
Okay. Could Gray?
Oh. Into rounds, by the sounds of it?
Yeah. I think so.
Unless anybody kind of says anything. Or does anything.
Will we throw them some gold coins and run to distract them? They look hungry and they might run after the money.
Gold, maybe some copper coins, yes.
Or copper, yeah, copper. Or some food or something. I do have this little bell I can stun people with, but you guys would have to be 20 feet away. They might get to me before you do that.
Yeah, keep that up your sleeve.
Do we want to...
Would I have a sense of how much money they might think is good money for them, as opposed to how much money might make them think
hang on a sec. So
they're definitely robbable?
Into rounds. There is the sound of running feet from behind you, and Gray, this person here, runs up. He looks like this, and he's got a pretty large club in his hand, and he's moved. They're fast, you'll give them that. Oops. Damn it. Oh. Damn it. There we go. He has moved 30 foot, so he still has some more action. And he's kind of... Gray, you glance to one side, and he's got his club readied at Gray. Next to act is Jaeda. Jaeda, you've heard the sound of running feet. You're unless you look behind you. Gray is aware of it because he's seen somebody come up beside him, basically. Jaeda, what do you do?
I think I will do an instant spell to pop up a shield.
Cool. Give me a roll.
Um, 94.
94. That is most definitely a success. So that's a 10% action. You have 90% left to act. What do you do?
I'm going to pull out my quarterstaff.
Quarterstaff's on the boat.
Oh, I've got no weapons. Shoot.
You did. Each of you describe what weapons you took last time. And
A dagger, yeah, a dagger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will I pull it out though, or will I try and talk them down? What would I do? I'm going to hide behind Ray and Tarquin. Are they close enough that only takes a few steps? And I think I'll just prepare for to go invisible.
Okay, so
If we can't run past, I'll prepare.
So preparation is a 90% action.
Yeah.
So you've cast a spell, and you're standing. You must be able to stand where you are then, because you can't do anything else if you want to prepare.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up is so this guy here. He's got a hand axe, and he moves up to Tarquin and just hisses in Thibronic coins. Now, you rich swine. And he's got his a hand axe raised. And kind of, he's moved up. So that was a distance of 11 or so foot. So he can still act this round. Jaeda, you kind of are alerted first. You'd kind of been hearing this noise of water immediately, and you notice this guy here basically pulling up his pants, picking up a dagger or two, and preparing to step over this low wall. Yeah. Great. This guy's just arrived. You've glanced over your shoulder. You've just caught a glimpse at him. Looks like that. Arms with a club. He's right behind you. Basically right behind you. What do you do?
Ooh. He would be just prepared to parry, because I don't think he's got too much time to do a whole lot. Did he hear the guy say coins?
Yeah.
He would, I don't know, he probably has a small money pouch on him as well as a large money pouch, so I'd probably say he'd pull out his small money pouch and hold it, but also be prepared to throw it at him and parry if he needs to.
So what direction he was facing that way? He was walking down to the waterfront.
Mm-hmm.
Where's he now turning? If he is turning,
he would turn to face that guy, so that he's prepared to fight, to parry, and then fight if he needs to.
Okay, and he's pulling out a coin pouch. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Tarquin.
What's he gonna do? So this guy must be like literally up in my face, right?
He is.
He's whispered in my ear.
He is 3 foot away. He's right.
So he's not.
He's right on you.
Okay,
Yes.
Not with an arm's length.
No.
Okay. I'm gonna cast confusion onto him.
Cool.
With no prep.
Cool. Give me a roll.
Ah, crap. 3.
3.
At the end of Karios.
So that is a 3, negative 30 for 0 prep. Tarquin is 7th level. That, I'm afraid, is a spell failure. It's an offensive spell. Make an open-ended roll and hope for a very, very low result, Tarquin.
69.
69 dudes. Subconscious fear causes caster to cast an ineffectual spell. So I'm afraid, Tarquin, you do lose the power points, and you're stunned for 1 round. So next round, you cannot, or you are stunned.
Okay. So I guess I can't do anything with my remaining 25%.
25%, you could speak. I mean, having a look at your action charts, there's not a lot you can do, but tell me if you do want to do anything with your 25.
So I don't know if it makes a difference. I've been in this city for 3 weeks. I got a reasonable kind of amount of duping and seduction and charm, so I think I'd say to him, name your price and let us pass.
Cool.
And
So,
I'm going to use as much of my charm and seduction as I can when I say that.
so I'd give you a very, very heavy minus to... static action. What is a static action? Yep. Static. So the idea is in your 10 seconds, you're So to affect a roll, to be able to roll on a skill, you need 100% action. You can certainly say those words to him, but you can't try to benefit from.
I'll just say those words to him.
Okay. Sorry. What do you say?
Name your price and let us pass.
All your money. That's the answer. There's footsteps from behind, and another person comes up. Grey, looking like this. This one is carrying a sword. You think you might have seen him before, maybe. Now that you think about it, now that you're recognizing it, Grey, you reckon that these two might have been on your tail, perhaps. The whole gang, the whole motley gang, that's them. One armed with a sword, this guy armed with a sword, this guy armed with 2 daggers, this guy's got an axe, this guy here and this guy here have both got a club each. Pretty crappy looking weapons too, by the way, a little you've seen. Next up. So the guy that first started to speak just kind of he's smiling. He's got an evil smile on his face, Tarquin, as he walks up towards you, and he's just kind of tapping his club in his hand. As I was about to say, he said, you all look tired. It's as though you're carrying a heavy burden. Too much cash, I think. And also you've got this Fahin with you, and he nods in Jaeda's direction. Fahin is an expression in Thebronic that is highly offensive. Jaeda, you don't, I'm not sure if you speak Thebronic, but you definitely know this word, and it is a really ugly, derogatory word, particularly towards women, and particularly towards women from where you're from. It's a really vile word. And he's just got this horrible kind of grin on his face as he comes up to Tarquin. All of your money now. That is the end of that round. Next round. This guy right on you, he's fast, really fast. Maybe he's just so wiry or something. Grey, but he, just as you're kind of fumbling for your pouch, he kind of maybe tries to kind of shove you a little bit with the club, just kind of that initial thing when a fight is potentially about to start, where someone kind of just pushes someone, he just kind of tries to nudge you. Dre can probably step out of the way, but it's definitely an unpleasant thing to do. Money. You pointy-eared scum, he says in Grey's face. It's kind of holding his club back. Jaeda, you're next to act. Prepared 1 round.
Right. Trying to think of a way that I can use this.
You've just been offended, by the way.
Yeah. So I have got this leap instant spell. It says laterally or vertically. If I leap past them, they get an opportunity to stop me, right? So it's not that easy.
What's the
description? I was thinking of leaping and ringing my bell once I'm out of range of my friends, but just getting a couple of them that are in the way of the water. So leaping 21 feet, ringing my bell, knocks those 2 out, and then we can all run that way.
So
is that possible?
21 foot is... That's 30 foot to the wall. That's 30 foot to the wall.
That's the wall. I thought that was water.
Oh, it is.
That's the water over the other side.
That's,
good.
That's the water there.
The wall. I hope that's not a dead end.
Yeah. And the stairs up here from where you are, that's 25 or so. Yep. So that gives you a sense of direction.
Okay.
The way you've come. So the way you came, by the way, was up through here. So this was a busier part of town. Tarquin, you really just an error on your mistake. You came down these steps. You came down here, and you got to here and went, "Oh shit, I've come the wrong way," and then this happened. But it seems as though, Grey, you think Tweedledum and Tweedledee might have been following you for a bit. So Jaeda, what's your action, please?
All right. But worried about running back into the busy streets in case they chase us and then everyone's looking at us. So there's 2 behind.
You don't know that.
Stairs up there. Oh, I can't see them.
Well,
they're behind me.
You haven't said you've turned around. You've heard footsteps and you've heard voices.
Okay.
That aren't Grey.
I'm gonna jump. I'll jump so that there's 20 feet until those 2 people in front of Tarquin.
Okay.
So that I won't hit him. So when I ring the bell. Oh god, I hope this works. Can I safely leap past though? Like when I leap, am I leaping straight ahead up in the air? I'm not sure how it works.
What's the description of the spell, please?
The spell. It says leaping allows caster to leap 50 feet laterally or 20 feet vertically.
So 50 feet, I would say you can, for argument's sake, you could leap, I don't know, what, 10 foot in the air?
Okay, over them. Okay, yep, I'll leap over them. Hopefully that works. I'll ring the bell and I'll just see if that works.
Okay. So give me a roll to see if you leap, please. You've prepared for 1 round, so this is at a negative...
I have, but this is just an instant one.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
It is?
A
Okay.
little asterisk.
Yeah, cool. Go for it.
76?
26. Spell.
76.
76.
76.
Spell is successful. That's a 10% action. Jaeda, you leap. And where do you place yourself, please?
Just so that they're within 20 feet of this bell that I'm going to ring.
So there. That's as far as you can go. The distance to them is...
Just don't want to hit that one.
That is 25.5 to Tarquin, and these guys are within 20 foot.
You're kidding.
Yep.
You're kidding. Okay, let's hope it's not
Beautiful
a dead end.
leap.
And then I'll ring my bell.
Okay.
Just in case, I'll be like, Tarquin, get back.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Give me a dice roll for ringing the bell.
Oh, let's hope this works.
This is a preparation spell, I think.
For the bell?
Yep.
Oh, is it? Oh, 66 I've rolled already. That's pretty good.
66. So stunning. I'm pretty sure it is. You should have the description.
I do.
Yeah.
It's on the sheet. Where is it? XP sheet. Okay. Oh no, I don't. It just says I love stunning chimes. I did have the instructions somewhere.
That would be really handy right about now.
It's in that big Rolemaster companion thing, eh? Oh, I don't know what page.
What's the spell called, Jada?
I don't know where it is. It's called, it's L of Chiming. Let me find it again. L of Stunning Chimes. Oh, thank you. L of Stunning Chimes. All I know is 20 feet. Where did I write that down?
Hang on, I might be able to beat you to it. Bell of Stunning Chimes. Yes, I've got it. Perfect. Plain silver bell, 6 inches high, when rung, attacks everybody but the holder within a 20-foot radius with a 5th level stunning spell. Radius or diameter? What is the difference between radius and diameter?
Radius is fine. Radius is from her 20 feet out to them. Diameter is the whole range of the circle.
Got it, thank you. Cool. 5th level stunning, channels cleric list. Okay, just give me a second. Yeah, I'll send you the description afterwards, Jada, because it's just always handy to have the description.
Yeah.
Now, here we go. Here we go. Channels. Right. Channels. Stunning. Stunning is an instantaneous spell.
Woohoo!
How about that? So you rolled a 60. That is lucky. That is very lucky. So 66. Jada, what is your... what level are you? You're 8?
Yep, level 8.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Goody. All right. This is just going to take 2 seconds while I do this. And we're on this chappie here, who is number 4, and this chappie here, who's number 3. Okay. Oh, damn it. I lost my place in the book. %. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, cool. This chap here is... Ah! So, lovely. Let's see, hang on. That would be so good if I can... Is this the right one? Let's find out. Yeah, that's good enough. Brilliant, Jaeda. So you leap up over Tarquin's head, up over this young thug's head, up over this young thug's head, and land with a plop right there. You spin, and particularly because this is only another 10% action, can't believe that, you cast, and yeah, that absolutely was a really impressive move, and it definitely was a successful spell. That took 10% for the jump, 10% for the spell. You still have 80% left action, Jaeda. What do you do?
Oh, and on the next.
Are these two guys down now, Chris? Have they just gone clonk?
No, they haven't done anything yet. So the
I need to look left and
Yep. What do you do,
spell's
Jaeda?
been cast. I need to look left and right to get in there.
Cool. Dead end. Another dead end.
Both sides. A little bit fuzzy. Ah, dead end both sides.
Definitely.
Let's see how far I can. Let's see if I can leap back.
Definitely the wrong way. Unless you wanted to climb up, whatever that is.
Oh, I can jump, but no. Should I run away and leave everyone? No, I can't do that. Can I have a look where my buddies are and how many people are coming?
Sure.
What the heck is that? The statue?
Yeah, just a statue.
Oh, phew.
So that's what you see, Jaeda.
Right. So there's Tarquin. Those two have been stunned.
Well, you don't know. You don't know if they have.
Oh, I reckon I can do this again and leap over and get the other two.
You can. Oh, damn it! You can. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. You can only cast one spell in a round.
Okay.
That is entirely. I can't believe I made that mistake. Absolutely core Rolemaster rules, and I goodness me, I got so excited in the moment, I lost track. I'm happy to keep that roll if that is your roll for stunning for next time. I'm really sorry, that was an error on the GM's part. I just remembered. I thought it was too good to be true. You can only cast one spell, either from an item or from a or by yourself per round. It's basically just a limitation of the game, so people don't get too overpowered and cast like 10 spells in one round.
Oh, shoot. Really, so I've jumped and that's it. Yeah,
you
that's
jumped.
Okay.
Really sorry to burst your bubble. As I say, that was a good roll for the stunning. I will keep it for next time if needed.
Can I call out though, since I didn't ring the bell? Can I just call out and say it's a dead end?
Yeah, sure.
They know not to run this way. Yeah, okay. I'll be like, oh no, it's a dead end. But also let them know I was going to use my bell of chiming.
Okay. What do you say?
So they know what I'm doing, just so they know what I'm doing and don't run towards me. So I'll say, hey, oh shoot, it's a dead end. I've got my bell of running chimes, but you'll need to stay back.
Okay. Okay.
That's
cool.
It.
Cool. Thank you. And I'm really sorry to spoil everybody's fun.
Oh no, that's okay.
Including my own. Including my own. In terms of people who have acted, sorry, there's no other action from you other than that. Oh no, you said that was it. Okay.
Yeah, because I can't do anything else. Can I prepare?
Well, as per the sheet,
No.
you can do what's on the sheet.
Oh, I can. I've got 90%. Yeah, I'll prepare because I may need to go invisible.
Okay.
Or ring the bell.
Okay.
Yeah.
So hang on, I'm just going to jot.
And we save that score for the next.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Cool.
Assuming. So.
Yeah, assuming nothing goes wrong there. Oh, you guys will have to just imagine you didn't hear any of that.
Yeah. GM just, I can't believe it. How long have I been playing this game? And I just made, like a schoolboy error. There you go. I just forgot. Okay. So I'll take those effects off. Edit. Okay, let's just see who's already acted. 4, 2. So that guy there came up and tried to prod Grey, that's right. Okay. Okay. Next up, Grey. You've just heard kind of a whoosh. You haven't seen what happened to Jaeda, but you do hear her yell out that it's a dead end. What do you do?
He's actually going to try and cast. Hello?
Hello. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. He's going to try and cast. He wants to cast a phantasm.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay.
He was getting his money pouch out last time. I've assumed he's now got it in his hand, by the way.
Yes.
Just as a heads up. Yep.
Yes. So he's going to jingle it while also casting secretly. And so he's just rolled a 58.
58. Is this a spell that you need prep for?
Yes.
Okay. 58. However, that is not a spell failure. The spell goes off.
Oh.
What do you do?
So he's gonna jingle and also whistle, and a large tiger is gonna run in from behind those guys so they don't see it, and come and stand in front of Grey, looking extremely menacing. And he's gonna talk to the tiger yes, get them, girl, or something kill them.
Excellent. Do we have a tiger? Gotta have a tiger. Animals.
Actually, he's going to look at them and say, he says, I suggest you run.
Oops. Does he speak? No, that's wolves. Does he speak Hebronic?
Ooh, it might be more menacing if he doesn't.
Maybe, yeah.
Let me see. What do you speak, Grey? Not a lot. He does not speak Hebronic.
Oops.
Make it really big.
Love it.
It's a big tiger. Yeah, like that. Yeah, maybe even bigger. It's huge.
Tell me when.
Maybe that's too big. like big enough that it's real, but a real big one. Like that. That's pretty big. I'd say it's about right.
And
it's running behind them and standing next to him defensively, looking very aggressive. Yeah. Yeah, oof, man. Good control.
How's that?
Perfect.
Okay. Excellent. Actually, I think we need a different sound effect for that. I think we need a... Okay, so this massive tiger walks, pads. Describe?
Runs in. It runs in from the shadows out of all of their eyesight, just and it runs straight in, like it's trying to protect its owner.
Okay, cool. So this guy here who kind of attempted to prod you, who's already acted. Oops, wrong dice. Just kind of gasps and takes a few steps back, and the stick he's got in his hand, it is just literally kind of a stick. He's pulled it off a tree. It's pretty chunky, but it's just a stick, and he's just kind of got it out in front, kind of waving it around. And he's back. He's definitely here. He's not utterly panicking, but he's definitely backing off. This guy here has yet to act. Nice. That was a 75% action. You got 25% left to do, Grey. What do you do?
He'd be ready for parrying.
Okay. Cool. Lovely. This guy. Yeah. He has just seen that. Oh god, yeah. He yells. You understand this, Tarquin. She's a witch, and he sees this thing come in. Just as he's saying she's a witch, as Jaeda leaps over his head, this massive beast comes around. It does turn its back on him, and he freaks. Oh, and actually, what do we do? No, he would have spun to see where Jaeda went, so perhaps he doesn't. No, he hasn't seen the critter. He does spot you, Jaeda. Turns and just yelling. Tarquin, you understand the language. He's just saying, "Foul fucking witch," and rushes up and takes a swing at Jaeda with his club. So, there's no sound associated with this image, is there, Grey? With the phantasm.
Oops, sorry, I was on mute. No, I don't know. I don't know that it can make sound. I don't say anything about sound.
Cool. Okay, so it is just an image. So he turned and this guy turned and watched as Jaeda flew over his head. So he didn't see this critter come in. He's run up and he's taken a swing at Jaeda. Oof. He's parrying some. Parrying 10. Jaeda, that hits you. This piece of wood smacks across you and does you 12 and a B crush.
Even with my shield up?
Oh, and your shield? What's your shield? Good point. What's your shield?
Oh, thank goodness. It's shield. It was an invisible shield. Subtracts 25.
25.
From... Yeah.
That was it. That made absolutely the difference. He smashes this bit of wood into
Lucky
you,
day.
and there is just this smack, and the bit of wood bounces off the invisible shield. That was what saved you from getting whacked. This guy here. Okay. He does that. Guy with the hand axe. He glances over his shoulder at where Jaeda went, but then has got kind of Tarquin in his sights and was kind of raising his axe to slug Tarquin, but then spots this beast and he doesn't like the look of it and he takes a step back. He's still within striking range of you, Tarquin, but he's seen something, he doesn't like it, and he's definitely backing off. Speaking of Tarquin, this is your round of being stunned. You've got 25% action. What do you do?
And I guess I'll get ready to parry.
Oh.
A little bit.
And then finally, this guy with the sword. Yeah, he is really not interested in this thing right in front of him. Gets a hell of a fight. In fact, he even lets out a little whack and backs the hell off. He moves back further with his friend and is kind of waving the sword out in front of him. Not happy at all. And that is the end of the round. Tarquin, you're now unstunned into the next round's initiative. We are off.
I guess my sword is out and was ready to parry.
Didn't hear you say you drew your sword. When did you do that?
Fine. I'll. How much is drawing my sword going to take me?
20%. 3. Yeah, this guy is on you again, Jaeda, and he lashes out with his club again. Fahid! He's saying some absolutely vile things, really, really horrible things at you, Jaeda. And he swings again with his club. He really doesn't seem to like people from where you're from.
Rude.
Yeah.
Can I do something?
On your turn. On your turn, sure.
Oh, it's not my turn? Not my turn?
Nope.
Okay.
Again, the speed. Jaeda is very, very fast, naturally, and with that 25% shield, that absolutely made the difference. And again, he swings and he misses with the club. Next is this guy here who is out of sight and does something. Next is Grey. So Grey, you've summoned this thing, it's beside you. This guy's backed off a bit, this guy's backed off a lot. What do you do? One question. What happens when you stop? Does this need to be concentrated, or what?
Yeah, he needs to concentrate. He does need to concentrate on it. If he stops concentrating, it still stays there.
Yep.
It just doesn't move.
Cool.
So he's going to concentrate on sending it kind of like it's going to kind of like walk forwards and like swipe at the closest one to kind of freak him out.
To actually hit him, or just to scare him?
No, because if he hits him, then he'll know it's an illusion. But just to scare him, just like.
Okay. Through the air. Okay.
Yeah.
On his turn, let's see what their action is. Probably.
And for the rest of it, can he just be ready? Is he able to concentrate on that, but also ready to parry? Is that something he can do?
So concentration is a 50% action, so he has 50% remaining. What does he do with his remaining 50%?
He is 100% going to use it to parry if he needs to.
Cool. To parry, you do need something in your hand, by the way.
He can't use his fists?
Oh, he could. Yeah, no, he could. He could
Yeah.
duck and weave with his fist. Yeah, good point. Cool.
Yeah, cool.
Alrighty. Jaeda, this guy's just swung at you again with his club. Again, it was your shield that saved you. What do you do?
Ring my bell.
Ring your bell. Ring my bell, bell, bell. Ring my bell. Okay. And as I'm a GM of his word, and absolutely, your last action stands. And the spell goes off. It would affect everybody in 20 foot, which is right there. That's 20 foot right there, which would affect this person and this person. And the same roll that you had last time is now applied. Whatever that is. Speaking of bells. Okay. 2.
So they're knocked out?
You don't know. I mean, stunned, of course. How do you tell if someone's stunned?
Oh, how long does it last for?
So this guy's action. This critter has come up and kind of taken a swipe at him. Amazingly, he doesn't stand his ground, but he doesn't turn and flee. And what he is doing is looking pretty hard at this illusion. He takes a step or so back and definitely keeps his club out in front, but he doesn't do a runner. He moves back to about here, but he's made a tough stuff, this guy. This guy here, however, no, he's seen the swipe, and he's turning and he's getting out of here. He backs off here, and turns the corner. Tarquin, you are unstunned. What do you do?
So Chris, are we still in this round, of which I've only used 20% of my action?
No, new round. This is now round 3.
What did I do last round?
You were preparing to
drew
parry.
My sword.
Sorry?
I drew my sword and prepared to parry, yeah?
Oh, did you say last round that you drew your sword?
Yes.
Oh, I totally missed that. I'm sorry. I heard the parry. I didn't hear the drawing sword bit. Yep, cool. So your sword's in your hand. It's a fresh round.
I'm going to attack the guy closest to me and do my living best to stab him through the chest or guts with something that's going to do a maximal damage.
Done. So this is... So you step forward. Now, do you put any into parry, or is it full attack?
No, full attack.
Okay.
I'm going to have a go at him.
Cool. So you're using a short sword of 72.
Correct.
He parries for all he is worth. Oh, what's the roll, please?
$72. Well, that's weirdly symmetrical.
It's a good roll. He parries for all he's worth. He puts his hand axe up to block the shot. It's not even close to good enough. 17 and a D slash. Roll the D slash, please. That was a good roll.
Not for that bell did much. 75. That takes the bell ring a ding, which I guess he wouldn't know about, Tarquin, would he?
No. You deliver an absolutely brutal, and I mean, like really, really nasty slash to this kid, really, this teenager's lower leg. He screams in pain, and yeah, he's really not in good shape. That was a nasty, nasty injury. You don't think he's going to be doing a lot for a while. Nice move, Tarquin.
Do I have any move left?
That's 100%. That's 100% you moving and attacking. Good attack. This guy here, I mean, he tries to stagger back a little bit. He gets a little bit further away from you, Tarquin, but that's about as far as he can get. He's really not in good shape. That is the end of the round. Initiative. Okay. Something else. This guy here takes another good look at this beastie in front of him. Okay. Yeah. He's not happy with the situation. He just backs off. He's seen his friends run. He gets to here and takes one kind of look. He's heard the scream of his companion, and he's round the corner. Jaeda. Hello,
right,
Jaeda.
what can I see from here? What can I see that they can't? Do I need to yell out maybe and say what I can see, that there's a person behind the wall? Did I see them when I was jumping?
Nope. Oh, you did before. You did see that there was someone here. Yep.
Okay, so I yell that out in as few words as possible. Person behind the wall. I'll just maybe pull out my dagger and try and stab this guy.
Okay.
It's standing right next to me.
Yeah, cool. So 20% to draw, and then take a shot with your dagger.
70.
Ooh, hang on a sec. It's a good roll. It's a dagger of 27, I think. Is that right?
That
What's your skill with your dagger, please?
is, yeah, 27.
Cool. And what was the roll?
70.
70. Cool. This guy is reasonably fast, and he does parry. And the shot goes wide, Jaeda. Just misses. Completely misses him. It's his turn, and he just kind of stands there. He kind of takes a couple of stumbling steps back, but he doesn't really have any indication he wants to attack you, Jaeda.
How did I miss that?
What's that?
How did I miss that when he's stunned? Was I not as close as I thought? I thought I was right next to him.
No, you were right next to him.
I was. I still missed. Okay.
You missed, but he then, after you missed, has taken a couple of steps back, and he's just kind of he's kind of shaking his head, looking a bit groggy. Tarquin.
Okay, the chap in front of me, I think it's time he went 9 eyes, so I'm going to attack him again.
Cool, give me a roll. What's the roll?
Sorry, Chris, it's 65, and again, that's with my short sword of 72.
65, 72. So last time he parried for all he was worth. This time, he is just standing there wide open, Tarquin. His hand axe is basically at his side. His eyes are kind of rolling in his head, reeling from that attack you just did on his leg. He doesn't even try to parry your shot. And you smash him with 25 and an E. Roll the E critical, please.
Oh, I've done it again. 69.
69, dudes. How do you want to do this, Tarquin?
So I think what he'd do is take his short sword and aim for it under his right-hand side of his ribs, up through the liver and into his lung, and then across quickly into his heart and out. It's a sure way to end anyone's life.
He doesn't scream. He doesn't really even cry out. He just kind of grunts. He looks somewhat surprised and then collapses to the ground, very, very, very dead. Tarquin, that was killed. That was killed first level. Nice work if you wanted to kill somebody. Great. You and your tiger buddy are standing here alone. What do you do?
Excellent. Can he replace the coins back in his pocket and bring out his dagger?
Yeah, sure he can.
Yeah, he'd do that, and then I guess he wouldn't have too much left.
To draw a weapon is 20%. To put something away is 20%.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess he would just turn and walk towards. He doesn't know there's another guy that's to the left, does he?
He did see someone.
That was...
He was aware. He thought someone was here, but he doesn't know for sure.
He'd turn and he'd turn towards there, and I guess his intention would be that after he turns to go there, his tiger would go and assess it for him, hopefully making some kind of scream from the person to alert him.
Okay. So the beastie comes up to about here.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. There's no scream from behind the wall. It's probably
Okay.
Gray's turn.
Cool.
One gone. That is the end of the round. 50 whole seconds later. Next round. Jaeda.
Right, I'm going to get him this time.
Okay.
I like bullies. If he hadn't called me names. Okay, I can't miss this time. I'm going to walk right up to him, hold his hair back, and cut his throat. Felt a little bit bad, but he did bully me, so I'm in a blind rage.
Doesn't work that way in Rolemaster. You still got to make an attack, and he can still parry. So let's see what happens. Give me a roll.
That's what I'm going to try and do.
You bet. Interesting. Angry Jaeda.
83. Oh.
83, that's a good roll. He does parry for all he's worth. He just sticks his stick up in front and just kind of blocks the shot, and because of that parry, he just basically turns your dagger aside. You don't get to hit him. Next up, what does he do? Yeah, he sees you, and he sees, glancing not over his shoulder. You caught this other side eye of Tarquin just gutting one of his friends. He just drops his club and falls to his knees and just starts begging for his life. Tarquin, you hear him, please miss, please don't hurt me, oh gods, please don't hurt me, please don't hurt me, please don't hurt me. He's down on his knees begging in front of you, Jaeda.
Whose action is it, Chris?
Just coming.
Sorry, whose action is it?
That was his action. This guy's action.
Okay, thank you.
Next is Gray. So no one appeared behind the wall. What do you do?
So even he can't. Can he see through that like window to see if there's anyone in there, or like
you can give me a
if he
perception
walks, but yeah, okay, he would definitely perceive.
Yeah.
Yeah. 29.
And what's his roll? What's his bonus?
I think it's 38. Yeah, 38.
You can't see or hear anybody through here. You can see, peering around you, there is a dead youth at Tarquin's feet. Tarquin is standing there kind of breathing heavily with a bloodied short sword in his hand. You can just make out Jaeda here with a dagger in her hand, but that's it.
Okay, well he would walk forwards slowly, just looking around to see and just assess to make sure there's no one there, and if he sees someone, he will point at them and say kill, and then send the tiger to them.
Okay. So he peers through here. He doesn't see anybody here. That figure's not there. And where does he walk to?
He would just walk up to where Tarquin is.
Cool. Okay. It's probably his action.
Yep.
Speaking of Tarquin, it's your turn.
So Tarquin would cover the ground as quickly as he could and drive his short sword into the other guy's abdomen. Repeat the action he just did on his buddy.
Jesus. Okay.
No, he's not Jesus. He's a braggart to attack us.
10 foot away. I'll give you that as a free action. It's very close. You will get he's dropped his club, so he can't parry, and he's also on his knees, so you get a definite advantage. Give me and a flank attack. Give me a roll, please, Tarquin.
5.
A 5.
And his short sword is, what is it? 70 something?
72.
2.
72. And I would give you that. I mean, he has no parry, and he only has half his defensive bonus because he's on his knees. That was a terrible roll, but because of the skill that you have and the fact that this person is, and you're attacking them on the side, still a very healthy 20 hit points and a D slash. Roll the slash, please.
Come on, sorry.
Oh my goodness, 3.
3. 2 hits. 2 additional hits. That's it. That is the end of the round. Initiative. Gray, you're first to act. You've just seen Tarquin move over and try to murder this teenager, on his knees.
He would be a little bit shocked at the level of violence between his friends. He would definitely suggest that they let them keep their lives, but if they come after us, strike to kill. But we need to move now. We have no time.
Okay. So that takes probably 15% of Gray's action. Any other action?
He'd probably just do a little staunch kind of and what to whichever one is closest to him and fuck off. Oh, sorry, bugger off, and point and just be get out of here. And then if they don't, also get the tiger to come up as well.
Okay, so there's only one left, and it's the guy that Tarquin just tried to swing at. He's currently on his knees. He's there.
Yes.
So you make that gesture at him. It's not his turn yet, so you don't know what he does. No. What do you do with anything else?
So he's told his friends he thinks they should leave, and it's a waste of time to spend time trying to kill this dude who's not really a threat anymore. And that's kind of it, really. I guess he's just imploring them to move.
Cool. What does he do? He has just been attacked. Yeah, no, he's just he's crying now. Tears are running down his face, and he's just staring at Jaeda. He's looking horrified at Tarquin. He was kind of surprised when Tarquin attacked him, and he's kind of fallen back on his hands, and he's just screaming as well. This kind of high-pitched, horrible sound of absolute abject terror. It's awful to hear, but he is just transfixed with fear on the ground. Next is Jaeda.
Oh man, they're just kids. Done. Oh, I can still hear that bullying though. Okay, so dead one there. He's still there. Are we gonna run, guys? I'm gonna move away from that guy.
What is Jade's action? What does she say or do, or what does she do?
I'm gonna leave him there and move towards Grey.
Okay. At what?
Away from the dead end.
Okay. And go.
Ooh, do I go invisible? You're just next to Grey.
Okay. Cool. Done. Anything else?
And prepare.
Okay. So remember, you can't do a lot and prepare. Then again, that was it's probably at the edge of what you could move and prepare, but I'll give it to you. Remember, preparing is a 90% action. And last but not least is Tarquin.
Yeah, no, this chap does not deserve to live. I'd essentially attempt to repeat the same action I did last time.
Done. Give me a roll.
29.
29. He has even. I'm going to give him effectively no DB at this stage. Flank is as well. Yeah, that's a massive 26 and an E. Roll the E critical, please.
$78.
Tarquin, how do you want to do this?
Same action. He's on his knees though, so it's going to be head back, sword up. This time through the right side of his chest, up into his heart, across and down through his liver. Going to make a mess. And then I'm going to take 2 bronze pieces out of my pocket and put one over each of his eyes, and I'm going to push them through them.
Oh, God!
You want to have a go at us, buddy? Here's your money.
Oh!
I'm hoping his friends come back and find him. Sometimes a lesson learned is a lesson well learned. They won't be bothering us again.
It's killed second level. You're now out of rounds. There are 2 dead children, teenagers, at your feet.
Dragons.
One with two coppers pushed into his head through his eyes. What do you do?
I'm going to suggest to the others we backtrack and get back to the ship as fast as we can.
Okay. Any actions from either Gray or Jaeda?
No actions. I think Gray would just be a little bit wary of Tarquin. He'd probably listen to what he has to say. He respects him as a person in terms of knowledge and being clever, but he would probably be a little standoffish. He doesn't want any coins pushed through his eyes.
All right, fantastic. Jaeda?
Jaeda will think, my goodness, I think he might have been bullied more than me.
Oh, interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Happy to say you find your way out. You retrace your steps. There is no tiger anymore, I'm assuming, unless you bring it with you, Gray, although you'd be slowed down, so I'm assuming it's gone.
No, he would leave it.
Dispel it.
Take it and goodbye.
You follow the route you came, and soon you're back onto the busy streets of Landania again, and within a relatively short time. That took, by the way, in terms of time away, that was 60 seconds. That took 1 minute. Very brutal fight for 1 minute. Call it a minute and a half. And can somebody please jump into the other chat room and ask everybody else to rejoin us in
Okay.
this channel. Thank you. There we go. That was interesting.
That was some excellent role-playing, Tarquin.
That was some superb role-playing.
Couldn't have been done without a tiger and the bell of death. That's a great spell. That is a great spell.
Yeah, that is awesome. So effective.
The bell of death. If only.
It's great.
All right.
I think you just got the name of this episode.
There you go.
Bell of Death.
Is it the Bell of Death? All right, it's the Bell of Death.
The Bell of Death rings.
There you go. All right. We are just about all back. Anthony is going to join us.
I think he was getting a bit comfy in there, I think.
He looks like he's put his feet up. Yeah.
He's on the chaise lounge when we left.
Okay. We'll give him a second or two. Was he still with you guys, or?
He was making noises.
Okay. Could someone just
maybe,
jump?
I don't know, maybe not. Maybe he just nipped to the loo or something.
Could someone just jump back into chat room 1 and just see if he can rejoin us?
Someone gone?
Yeah.
Graham's in
Graham
there.
has.
Going to the loo with him.
Yeah, there you go. There's Graham back. There we go. Fantastic. So around about 20 past 9 in the morning, you haven't heard. It hasn't quite been the 9:30 bell. Severin, you're looking out the window, and you see 3 familiar figures moving. They're not quite running, but they're moving pretty quickly back to the ship with no name. That's pretty much the scene that you can see up on screen. No one is really particularly interested in what people are doing. No one pays any attention as Jaeda, Tarquin, and Grey board the ship with no name. And I'm assuming you head down to the cabin and you're reunited with your companions. What happens?
So, can I make a few suggestions?
Sure.
Yeah.
So I think I'd recount to the group what has happened, so that we've managed to speak to the High Priestess in the Temple of Hera, and that Aveline, being her name, would be happy to at best preserve and maybe heal Karios, and we need to get back with her. She didn't like Jaeda, so I'm going to suggest maybe Nicholas, and I'm going to give him a good look. Maybe come with us, so we're a party of 3. Seems like an old world chap. I'm also going to ask if anyone is able to provide a donation, of which we need one, for her to do her work.
How much?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we could do. I've got local protocol as a skill, but I don't know what a generous donation was. What I think the exact words would be. Maybe we could ask our mate on the boat.
Was there not a kind of notorious fugitive mage on the price list? Well, we've wrapped her up nicely, ready for a journey anyway, and disguised her a little bit as best we could. So she's all wrapped up and ready to go.
I'd also suggest to them I've struck up a friendly note with the priestess who manages the door, and this might be an ideal opportunity to figure out what's wrong with Neathanol. And so maybe if Neathanol could be taken there as well, they won't come to us. We might actually be able to find out what's wrong with her and or heal her. And so, of course, there is a risk.
I think that maybe we should do that as a secondary thing, because if you're in a hurry, and that increases the risk, doesn't it? Because that means we've got to take more people. I would suggest if anyone, probably Askel's most likely to be the least known. Am I right in thinking? What does everyone think?
Jaeda can also heal Neathanol.
I think you've tried, actually.
Yeah, I think Jaeda has. So I think what I'd suggest is someone who knows the old gods.
The old gods.
Yep.
So what's your affiliation?
Your benefit. And I think Tarquin would be pretty keen to take Nicholas, but would be open to your suggestions. And I think I'd agree with Severin that we should go in 2 parties: a rapid party with Karios, and then a second party that could come with Neathanol, noting that the priestess on the door is waiting for Jaeda as a second party, and I've asked her to treat her kindly. So I think 2 parties is a good idea.
Nicholas has got a skill of, where is it? 43 in Religious Doctrine, Old Gods. 63 in Teaching of Beliefs, Roldenic, and 47 in Roldenic Prayer.
That's pretty good.
Ideal.
Roldenic
well, just to compare.
Sorry, just to add information that your characters would know that perhaps players wouldn't. You were right, Pete, in describing that Roldan has come out of the old gods. So there was this Parthenon of 14 gods, the goddess of healing, in this case Hera, Malhal, the smith, and various others. a Parthenon with different areas. Aphrodite is another one that Etienne plays too. Roldan is the so-called the son of Arohir, or the king of the gods, the weather gods, the lightning ball and lightning bolt throwing king. Roldanic faith is different, and as the years tick by, little bit by little bit, schisms and differences kind of have come to change the Roldanic faith, where more and more focus is put on this one man, Roldan, who was a soldier and who was actually killed by Jaeda and Askel's people, put up on a tree and run through with spears, the execution tree. Hence the reason that the Roldanics use a tree. So yes, there is some crossover in the faith between Old Gods and Roldanic, and it's certainly a lot better than, for example, Altumar or other gods, but it is a different faith.
Yeah, so Askel's Altumar, so and it will look a little bit that way as well.
Cool. Can we put a hat on Nicholas or something, or wrap him up or something, or put a scarf around his head or something?
Yeah, let's do that. Nicholas would definitely want to disguise
I think the other thing that good point. The other thing that Tarquin would say was that cleanliness seemed important. So although spending a minimum amount of time, we do all want to make ourselves look presentable.
Absolutely. Nicholas would put on... If the group has got consensus that Nicholas should go, he's happy to go. He's reluctant because he doesn't want to be recognised, but he will do that if Tarquin feels that that's the best thing. Just checking what Nicholas has got. He has got spare shirt and pants. So he would be putting on his spare shirt and pants.
He could borrow
himself up as best he can.
He could borrow Neathanel's wig if you like.
Yep, he'd do that. If it were, I don't know.
Right, pink one. Yep.
It's black hair. I mean, why not?
Yep, if he can make it work, that'd be great. But yeah, he will tidy himself up as best possible and disguise himself as best possible with what we've got, and be ready and be happy to go if that's what consensus is.
Sounds like you got to go quick. I'd just go. I wouldn't worry about a second party right now. I reckon just go and just get that done, and we'll worry about that later, shall we?
Sure.
Jaeda and Gray, do you volunteer any information, anything about your time?
Ooh, yeah. Well, yeah. Say that I got into a blind rage. We got bullied, tried to kill some kids, and this is a bit awkward, isn't it now? And looking over at Tarquin.
Yeah, Gray wouldn't.
People might be coming
want to
after
say
us.
too much. He would be nervously looking at Tarquin and just kind of keep your distance. Yeah, he would want to go because he'd want to go to help protect Karios while they're taking her there. But I don't think he'd actually want to go in because I don't think he'd want to go in. But he'll go run along behind them and just make sure no one's following or attacking, and then he'd want to watch outside the front door.
Someone needs to carry Karios, right? That would be great, presumably.
Yeah, Gray would be happy to do that.
And so, sorry, Severin notices presumably you're all looking at your feet and making strange observations about boys. Okay, what happened? What do we need to
we got a brigands who ended their lives.
Okay.
So they might think out there and a tiger loose, and they might be looking for us.
Who?
Especially me.
Who?
Just some
street vagabonds.
Bullies. Street bullies.
So, they know all three of you, right, by sight?
Yes, they would.
So, how are you going to avoid them?
think we've sent a pretty clear message not to attack us.
Yeah, I
However,
don't know if they're going to want to attack us.
Oh, so you've killed some people in the street?
They
Two,
might
yeah.
talk. Yeah.
Two.
Two got away.
Right.
And two are dead, very dead.
And did anyone kind of... This is a pretty slack place, but was anyone paying...
I think everybody that paid attention is now dead.
Oh,
Or
okay.
has run away. Nobody,
Or has-
they ran off, and then we killed the people that were left, and then we left.
They
Right.
they don't actually. They probably don't know we killed those people, but they will maybe say that there's a witch and a tiger. Someone might discover those bodies though, and then we're in trouble.
Sorry, what's this tiger?
A phantasm.
Phantasm of the tiger.
Oh, cool. Severin just says, that's great. I think you need to go quite quickly, but maybe, I know you don't want to go in the temple, but maybe you could all go in and just hide in an ante-room. Just, you don't have to go into the inner chambers, but might want to stay out of sight, huh?
Can't we bring her to us? Oh no, someone still needs to
no,
go
I
get
tried
her.
that.
Okay.
Anyway, you better go, right? Because you're...
Yeah,
Yeah.
we better go.
So have we hidden Grey's face as best we can, or changed him slightly?
Yeah, that would be good if we can just all change our outfits a little bit and anything to kind of hide us.
Does
So if we can change the way Grey looks, and I'm going to go up, quickly find a nondescript sailor who looks like me. I'm going to cast Study on them, and then I'm going to cast Face Shifting. That'll
Okay.
disguise me.
Okay.
I've got some fancy clothes if anyone wants to borrow them, since I'm not going out. And there might be things on the boat we can hide everyone in.
Okay.
Good idea.
Let's go for the face change, please.
Okay, so 32. That will be Study, so I need to study someone first. It doesn't matter who, I'll just pick a sailor. It's got to be roughly my size and shape. And then 83. And now what that does is that makes me look exactly like the person I've studied. So somebody who's not a half-elf and nondescript. Perfect.
Okay, cool. Give me a... Oh, sorry, was another roll a success?
Yeah, 83. Yeah.
So 2 rolls, mark them down. So you've done that. People have changed appearances. Who is going out? And are people taking any additional items or anything else that I should be aware of?
Suggestion, given just what's happened and also how tall Jaeda is, would it be worth Askell subbing Jaeda?
Yes, good idea.
Because Askell's a new member of the party. He's the least, other than Tarquin, the least likely to be recognised. And if Jaeda's stands out quite a lot, 'cause she's really tall. Maybe it'd be better to sub.
Does it matter that he's the same religion as me, though, and they might hate him? Or is he not going in?
He doesn't have to. He just has to deliver the body, then hang out in the ante-room, right? He doesn't have to go into the inner chamber. Yeah.
So I will look very similar features. That sort of thing, if you're worried about.
No, it was more being that if you try not to be recognised, Jaeda's quite distinctive.
Yeah, that's good. Really good thought. And they didn't like her in the temple either. I can't remember. They didn't talk about her in kindly terms, did they?
No, they were not fans.
But because of her garb, etc. Not what she's wearing and
I can't quite remember what they called her, but it wasn't polite.
Yeah, so it's probably because of she's probably got that monastery-looking look to herself.
But you could stay. You don't have to go right in. You could just deliver the body and then just go slightly in just through the door and just ask to sit on. You don't have to march into where the priestess is.
Oh yeah, no, it was more like if we're worried about similarities, Askell would be similar featured to her.
Yeah, but I mean, everyone else, I'm worried about getting actually recognised. Because anyone else is, you're quite new,
Oh yeah, that's fine. I was just more just teasing out that piece of not.
Anyway, up to you.
Unrecognisable, but in fact I am. But yeah, happy to.
So just to move things Sorry.
Yep. Leif would give Tarquin 130 gold pieces.
Holy crap! That is
So
a vast sum of money.
Yeah, I've put that onto the XP sheet. I mean, he is expecting any change back, but this is for Karios, so I've put that onto
donation.
Tarquin. Well,
can I ask Chris a question?
Yep.
So, getting the donation size right seems important, because if we vastly over donate, I mean that will make us memorable, very memorable. And so
we don't need to use all of that money by any means. We don't need to use that money, but all of it.
I'd want to see if we can find our chap in the boat who knows stuff.
Yep.
And if he can give us an indication of donation size, that'd be helpful.
Why don't you just ask Michelle Pfeiffer? She'll give you a.
Oh, you're a genius. That's exactly what I'll do.
I think it would be fair to say that Jaeda is a healer. I don't think I'm stretching things too much. She would have some knowledge of how much spells potentially cost. I think it would be reasonable to say you would probably be aware of maybe even a ballpark. So roughly the caster's level times the spell's level times 5 silver pieces. But you don't know either the caster's level or the spell's level. Or maybe you do know some of that information. I don't know.
We know that it's the guy that's kind of a bit more senior and has a bit of gravitas, though. So I'd say it'd be kind of high up there.
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Well, because he was like when she said she talked about the guy that was going to do it, he sounded quite, or girl, I can't remember. She was quite like powerful. Wasn't there someone that was going to come and do it?
She was going to do it, wasn't she? Isn't she the High Priestess of Hera?
Yes.
Oh, it was her. Oh, I'm imagining
like...
things. Yeah. Okay.
Well, okay. So, did you say level times spell, Chris?
Yes, I did. Level times spell times 5 gold pieces. She did indicate that. Because Tarquin wasn't a strong believer, he would probably have to pay a bit more. It would be nice if he could give a bit more of a donation.
Did you say silver or gold?
Silver.
So if she was 20th level on a 20th level spell, that would be 2,000 silver or 200 gold. If it was a 20th level spell and 20th level healer, probably not that much, right?
100 silver for 1 gold, right?
10.
I reckon I don't know if we'd know this, but I'd be aiming for a 10th level spell, which is preservation for 1 week per level. That'd be ideal. And they have to be at least level 10, so 10 times 10, 100, so 500 silver, so 50 gold. So I think 130 gold's enough for a start.
Okay, so I think Tarquin would ask, shall I ask her if she can reconstitute her heart and lungs and re-preserve her body and then preserve her? Or just preserve what we have now?
Well, we'll ask that when we get there, if they can how much they can do to restore her.
What we want Nicholas there for.
Yeah. Would make sense to restore heart and lungs first, and then to do preservation, yes.
Alright, so tell me what happens, please. Because I have been Sorry, go for it.
I'd change into something so my clothing looked slightly different too, and then we need to take off. So it's going to be me, a disguised Grey, and Nicholas, right?
Yep.
Yes.
And Grey's going to be carrying Karios, who's wrapped up, so hard to recognise. Yeah?
Yep.
And we're going to move as quickly as we can back to the Temple of Hera.
Cool.
So when you say carry Karios, you have a mummified body, and you're walking with this mummified kind of corpse in your arms.
Stick her in a carpet, quick. Roll her on a carpet.
Yeah. Or a stretcher.
But that's
carpet's even better. Take one end each and go.
Cool.
No, rug.
Do that.
Is that what you do?
Yep.
Well, you can all help and do that quite quickly. Clear all the furniture out of the way, roll up in a rug, and off we go.
Perfect. So there's a red. You can see it on screen. You grab exactly that red carpet. Karios is short, very short. She fits into that red carpet quite nicely. A bit of her cheek kind of comes off as you roll her up. Kind of falls away. It's not nice.
Oh, sorry, Karios.
And you put her in a roll. And what do you do?
Get back to the temple as quick as possible.
Cool.
Whilst looking nonchalant and unpresupposing.
Okay.
And being careful.
Being careful. You head back. I'm going to ask for one last roll, please, to get you back there. Who's feeling brave?
Not me.
No, I've used all my bravery.
Alex.
Yes.
Oh, talking to myself. Okay.
If you don't mind.
Well. Oh, well, do you know? Life's good. Let's go. It is all 57. 57.
Let's have a look. Okay. You're a little bit, not badly, but a little bit delayed. Tarquin, your sense of direction isn't... Maybe it was the rather interesting incident on the way back. Maybe it was the tiger that you saw. Maybe it was a couple of copper coins. But you're a little bit discombobulated, and you make it back pretty much at the stroke of 10 bells. Nicholas, for the first time for you see the Temple of Renewal, this building here, in the rain, of course, and yeah, the bells are ringing. What do you do?
Well, I guess I would approach the door priestess, whom I'm hoping is the same door priestess.
The door is open, and you can see inside, and there is a reasonable size kind of motley congregation, maybe 40 or 50 people, praying and chanting, and up the front is this woman.
Well, I think we need to do everything we can to catch her attention. Except now I'm going to have to let my spell slip, which I can just do, so I look like Tarquin again.
Okay.
And I guess we'll move around the side of the crowd or something. I don't know what others think.
Oh, I guess is the door lady there? Any ushers?
Yeah, she's
that's a good idea.
She's off.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chris.
Yes, she is off to one side.
So we could go up to the door lady and I could ask her if she could go and beseech Aveline on our behalf that we've arrived as rapidly as we can. Does that sound reasonable? I'd ask Nicholas, who seems to know something about the way these religions work.
If Nicholas knows, he would contribute, but I just think that's common courtesy, really.
Right, so let's do that.
Does Nicholas know if it's appropriate?
Common courtesy, yep.
Yeah.
And can I check, Chris, would have the Karios' cat come with us?
Did it? Yes, yeah.
My presumption is she would have, but yeah.
Yep.
I guess we'll ask her if she could go and let High Priestess Aveline know we've returned at her request and beseech her to help us.
Okay. So you go up to this woman and you say exactly that. She comes up to you and she smiles, and as she does so, she kind of almost unknowingly flicks a piece of hair that isn't there out of her way and kind of smiles quite coyly at Tarquin. Comes up to the door. Nice to see you again, my friend. And I see you dispensed with the fahin, the big tall fahin. Good, good.
So it's lovely to see you too. As you know, we've returned with our friend in desperate need of help. On the stroke of 10, as requested by High Priestess Aveline, could you please, in your graciousness, let her know we have arrived and seek her ministrations?
Absolutely. After the ceremony is finished, yes. Please take a seat. In fact, you'd be welcome to pray if you wish. What's in the rug? She says it doesn't smell very good. And she looks at Nicholas too.
Nicholas would greet her politely, and he would take her up on the offer of joining the prayers if he feels comfortable. Does it look like, just from the sort of what's going on, he looks like he might be familiar with what's something?
Vaguely. I mean, what's his old god's religion? What is it?
Teaching and belief, religious doctrine, old gods is 43.
Give me a roll, please.
Oh, 94.
94. It is unfortunately masked.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, you were never that much of a follower, but you tended. Hera is one of the major gods in the Parthenon. She heals people, so she's a popular god, a very popular goddess. You wouldn't know a lot about her, but you could probably follow along. You can kind of do that thing where you're in a crowd where you kind of come up and everybody else is singing and you're just kind of mumbling along in the back. But you're able to get a few crossing yourself in the right time and praying accordingly. Yeah, you could follow along a little bit.
Yep, he'd join in then. If he's not going to make a fool of himself, he'd join in.
Great. Can I please check what Gray and Tarquin do?
I think I would turn to Gray and say, please stay with our package, and then join.
Nicholas?
Join Nicholas. I'm a bit cautious about this, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Gray would want to stay with Tara, so he would just gently lay her on the ground and just be next to her.
Okay. And now I'd like a brave person to roll a 1d3. Does this service take 1 hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours?
I'm not rolling after what happened last time.
Yeah, Karios?
1d3. Two. Okay. Done. So at the end of a lot of praying and a lot of bowing and a lot of incense burning, a lot of discussion. Nicholas, you think you get some of it right. High Priest Adeline, at the end of the altar, finishes her prayers. She kind of ceremoniously washes herself as a sense of purity and devotion. Puts out the sacrificial light that you could see her holding, and then begins to move off to the side. You do have some luck, however. Sister Michelle does come up to her just as she's doing that, and on your behalf, and she kind of winks at Tarquin as she does, points in your direction, and a minute or so later, as most of the congregation are kind of filing out and going about their prayers in the either side of the main altar, the High Priestess comes up to you again. Well met again. I see you weren't able to make it in time before my prayers started. How exactly may I be of service?
You High Priestesses, indeed. Fantastic to see you again. I brought my friend in dire need of your ministrations, and I'm hoping that, along with the donation we will provide, you're able to both heal and preserve her, if that is at all possible. And thank you so much for your kind offer to do so.
Certainly.
Indeed, your service is fantastic, and I guess I'd be charming the crap out of her.
Give me another roll. This is unmasked. What's the roll? Hello.
Sorry, I'm talking to myself. It's a 7.
It's a 7. What is your charming skill, please?
96. Oh no, that's duping. Sorry, 85.
85, still pretty good. I mean, you're not on form. You're definitely not on form. Maybe it was the interesting incidents earlier in the morning. But yeah. If you wanted to roll again, you could get a plus 20 to it. She is becoming more friendly if you wanted to, or you could leave it at that. It's up to you.
No, I'm definitely going to take a punt.
Okay, give me a roll. What was the roll?
Sorry, Chris. Sorry, I keep turning my microphone off and forgetting. 83.
Wow. Plus 85. Plus 20. Not only did you influence your audience, but you receive a plus 50 bonus on influencing them until you do something to cause them to lose confidence in you. That was one heck of a roll. And the full wattage of Tarquin's charm just beams on her. She's a pretty serious woman, so she doesn't let a lot on, but she certainly smiles. And your friend, I see the Fahin is no longer with you, the tall woman. Who are you? She says, looking at Nicholas.
Nicholas will be as polite as he possibly can, and he'll identify himself as a believer of the old gods.
Give me a roll.
Particularly Apollo.
Apollo. Okay, cool. Give me a roll. Goddess, god of knowledge. Makes perfect sense.
49.
49 plus 40.
For his old god's knowledge is 43.
3, cool. 2.
Good roll.
Yeah. Oh, that was a master dice roll, of course. 43, wasn't it? Yeah.
His bonus was 43, the roll was 49.
Yep, 49, sorry. Oh. Oh, nice. Nice!
Oh good. I like nice. Oh.
So much better than interesting.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, that was a good roll. Yes, I don't know, the words just came out from dusty recesses of your minds, Nicholas. Time spent in temple, all the rest of it. You found the words. And even though they're not exactly her goddess, they are indeed the right things to say. And she smiles, actually a bigger smile in this case than she bestowed on Tarquin. You are welcome, she says. You are welcome. Please, come with me. Where is the afflicted?
I think at this point Tarquin will look at Nicholas and kind of make it clear he's deferring to Nicholas to lead.
Okay. Nicholas will Yeah, we'll indicate that we need to bring the carpet forward with her. I assume we're sort of going further into the church.
Yes, she and Michelle are encouraging you to head further in and beckoning you. You brought the deceased in a carpet.
Nicholas will sort of look. He'll pretend to look abashed or something, and it was what was to hand, and the state of her body required containment.
Is that normal from where you're
you
from?
will see. Is
that normal from where you're from?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not. But needs must in this situation, and time was of the essence.
Very good. Please, and she nods at Gray and Tarquin and Nicholas. You follow her through the pretty decaying, crumbling interior of the church, and there's a relatively small 15-foot by maybe 20-foot room at the back. There are curtains up. There are motifs of the goddess of healing everywhere. Her signs are everywhere. And there's a large slab of white marble in the center of the room. Please, she says, and gestures towards the slab. Please, lay her here.
We would do that and respectfully unroll the carpet.
It's kind of an intake of breath from both Sister Michelle and Eveline, and High Priestess Eveline. I mean, Karios isn't rotting a lot, but she's not looking great. She's certainly not smelling great, and there are insects on her. There are, I think, maybe maggots on her face. You're not quite sure. But there's definitely an intake of breath. And then Eveline kind of holds herself, puts her hands down for a second or so, and then she just looks up, and she looks at you, and Sister Michelle also, attention turns at the three of you.
Oh, sorry. Is this meaning that they're wanting us to speak? Oh, right.
I think it's donation time, maybe.
Donation time.
I think probably we'd say something like, only the power of the High Priestess of Hera could manage such a skill of healing. And where shall we provide the donation in praise of the goddess?
She just gestures to the slab where Karios' body is.
Nicholas will looking very humble, and we'll sort of ask, we're so grateful to you, so he'll make sort of those sorts of thankful words, and we'll ask, is it what can you do for her? Her chest is ruined. Is it possible to restore her organs?
I can certainly preserve her. And last potentially last key roll of the night. Someone please roll the level of her highest priestess, who is a healer. The church. Give me a roll, please. It's a 1d6. 1d6, two 1d6s.
Following that.
Karios?
Alex? Seems fitting.
Sorry, 1d6 and then followed by something else. You want a high roll here.
Are you there, Alex?
Someone else?
Maybe Alex.
Mason?
Go on, Mason.
Sorry, I'm nominating people.
No, that's okay. I can roll. What am I rolling? Sorry.
1d6.
1d6.
If you roll bad, you have to leave the country.
1d.
You want high.
Not d6. I want high. Okay. It doesn't. Did I do that right? Ah! Oh dear. I'm sorry. I'll go.
What was it?
I rolled a 1.
Can you roll a 1d6 again, please?
No.
We've overcome so much. 6.
Whose idea was this?
Okay. So, High Priestess Aveline looks at you and says, I can preserve her body so there is no more decay. In fact, I can do that for some considerable period of time, many weeks, in fact. Regrettably, my most senior healing sister has been tragically taken away from us, and she alone in our humble community would have the ability to actually regrow the organs that this poor child so desperately needs. I can preserve her, but I and we here cannot heal her. You can suggest other places you can perhaps venture, but we cannot provide healing here in this place.
I think Tarquin would turn to Nicholas and ask, maybe we could ask if she could heal everything other than her organs, so all of the decay over the last 5 days, and then preserve her.
Absolutely.
I mean, that would be a big step up, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll put that question to her, very humbly, showing gratitude and, great thanks that she can do that much. That's fantastic. And whilst doing this, he'll be fossicking in his belt pouch, looking out his money. He'll humbly ask what can be done for the state of her body, so that when you preserve her, she doesn't smell. But she, can you restore her body to other parts of her body to health?
And by the way, she did. I should have said earlier on. She did touch Karios when the carpet was unfurled. She says ultimately this dear child wrinkles her nose a little bit. Has lost vital organs to give her life. That is what needs to be repaired the most. There may perhaps be some of her mental faculties that perhaps could be amended by me, but that would donation. I can certainly, absolutely, I can here and today preserve her, and I can perhaps restore some of her mental faculties, at least somewhat.
Of course, I'd be so grateful. Yeah, and inquire about, repairing her skin, repairing the damage that has rotted.
Skin is an organ, correct?
That's what I'd class it as. Yeah.
It is, yeah.
But it's not destroyed, is it? It's sort of, hopefully it's a repair rather than a...
She still has her skin and stuff, right? Unlike the organs in her chest, which are gone and require regrowth, these just need repair back to their original condition.
She says, yes, we have the capability. We do not have the capability here, as already mentioned, to restore this poor child's lungs and heart. We can't do that here. I can preserve her, yes. I can also do something to assist her mental deterioration, at least in part. And and one of my order, Sister Maron. She's not, as I say, not my most senior healer here, but she is skilled enough to at least repair some of the damage that this child has suffered to her face and to the rot that has set in. Yes, we can do those three things.
Extremely good news for us. Nicholas will sort of let happiness show on his face and relief show on his face, and gratitude.
Lastly, she needs to be brought back to life, however.
We are aware of this. We will pursue that when the time is right. Once we have addressed the heart and lungs. Nicholas will show his hesitancy, and he will be. And it was just, by the way, it's really good to have that ballpark figure, and will indicate and have a quiet conversation with Tarquin and say, I think 104 repairing of her skin. I would say 60 gold is what is indicated. For preservation of her, 60 gold is what is indicated. And then he'll turn to and he'll start laying this on, and he'll take 60 from his pouch and indicate Tarquin takes 60 gold from the money that he was given, and will turn in embarrassment say he has he is unaware of the magnitude of the donation, or of what would be an appropriate donation for restoration of her mental faculties, and look appealingly at her for a. And sort of watch as he, would start laying out sort of stacks of 10 gold or something around, and look to their faces to get an indication or something.
Okay. How much do you put down in total?
So he would do the 60. And by our ballpark, I'm guessing 60 is 10 gold over what's ballpark. So 60 for organ waste for the organ. So from him, 60 from Tarquin for the preservation. And then he would indicate to Tarquin to perhaps start putting down in amounts of 10, start with 30, and see what their reaction is. See if they can give us an indication of when to stop.
I'll do that. My check, Chris. This is essentially a type of gambling, right? Not pushing it too hard. I mean, I'm trying to work this out by their facial characteristics.
No, they're just looking, and they just nod each time you put some coins down.
I say we make it another 60, personally.
Okay, I'm going to follow Nicola's recommendation.
Oh, that's a guess. I really don't know.
Appreciate it's a guess.
So we're at 180 gold pieces on the table. Their arms are still folded.
Okay.
How much more do you go up to?
Until they start to unfold their arms.
How much more do you have?
In total, we've got about 300. Nicholas has got 200 of his own. So we're up to 120 from Tarquin. Is that correct?
Correct. That's all of it. Got.
Well, he's got 10. He's got 10 left. I'll adjust the sheet.
Ray has some too. I'm not sure how much, but he has a lot of money.
How much do you?
And I think Chris, when we get to like 200 and whatever, how much are we up to?
We're up to. So yeah, we'll get up to. So I'll take off the 100.
So once we get up to about sort of 200, of course, I'm going to bow deeply and remind Adeline that, of course, my services are hers to command as well. I'm going to try and get this over the line.
We've gone up to 200. Yeah.
Their arms are still definitely folded.
Oh my god! I don't know how much money we've
got. Nicholas will put another 30.
Okay. Still folded.
And we'll look to Grey.
Grey will put another 50.
So grand total now.
I'll adjust that, and I think we should be done there. Personally,
that's what 280.
I've adjusted Grey's money as well, by the way.
So how much is the total, please?
Oh, sorry. 280.
80?
Michelle pulls, seeing a bit of discomfort from you, she quietly pulls Tarquin aside and says the following to Tarquin. Whispers it to Tarquin. It's coming.
They're the washing up.
It's kind of taking pity on you, really, Tarquin. In your channel now.
Yep. So I think Tarquin would bow low and say to the High Priestess, we recognise this is our surety of payment, the half of the donation we've brought with us. We realise how urgent time is for preservation and to prevent decay. And again, using all the charm I can, once this has been done, we'd be happy to return with the other half of our donation in a time frame you see fit.
Okay. So, Adeline, High Priest Adeline, begins by saying, "I'm terribly sorry, but the goddess does not wish her power to be given unless the appropriate amount has been received to be distributed amongst our brothers and sisters." And she's kind of halfway through that, and something about Tarquin and something about that last charm roll, the fact that you got plus 50 on that last charm roll, kind of pauses her, and then she says, "But maybe on this occasion, and Tarquin, can you please roll another charm roll and make it a good one? You get plus 50 to this." It's in the open.
Oh my god. I just don't even want to tell you.
What's the roll?
It's 2.
That is a blunder. Roll down, please.
What does that mean?
Where did you roll that?
Well, I rolled it in the wrong channel. Does that make any difference?
Take the 2, I'm afraid. Roll again. You want a low roll.
You know I'm going to roll 100 this time, don't you?
Yep.
31.
Negative 31. Plus 50 plus... What's the bonus?
Oh, 85.
Not good enough. I'm terribly sorry. I'm helping you, she says. I'm helping by bringing in people that aren't actually part of our community to heal them. We can keep your friend here, ready, but we need the remaining amount.
Nicholas would draw Tarquin and Grey aside and check with Tarquin what was said to him. But they need another, that's half. Is that right?
So, yeah, Tarquin would say we're halfway there at 280.
280, yeah. So we can, I mean, Grey's got 400.
Yeah, Grey would give it to him.
So if Grey's, I mean, and a hero party would reimburse him because they have got enough to reimburse. But you know, sorry, I mean, Nicholas wouldn't say that. I assume Grey would point out that he's got 400 gold.
Yes.
Or he can cover it, and I think that Nicholas would point out that he knows that the hero party would reimburse, but would suggest that we don't just sort of go, oh, easy peasy, that we should make a show of how difficult it is for us, that we don't just have it lying around.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep. So that's a quiet discussion that you know Nicholas would be wanting to look concerned and sort of scratching and like looking a bit upset and things. You know, sort of showing that it's a lot of money. It is a lot of money.
Okay. So how much do you
So that's
finally
his
put down?
suggestion to Tarquin.
How much do you finally put down?
The rest. So it'd be 280 was it 180 was half or 280 was half?
280 was half.
I think 280 was half, so
the other 280.
560 gold pieces.
Jesus.
Put down on the slab, and at that point the arms are uncrossed. And the High Priestess looks down at Kyros's body, touches Kyros, takes a deep breath, and attempts to cast Spell of Preservation. She can fail on a 1 or a 2! Exclamation mark.
Chris, we want restoration of skin and stuff first, and then preservation, right?
No. You want to preserve her. You want to stop the rot anymore.
Yeah.
Exclamation mark R space D 100. She fails on a 1 or a 2. Dice roll coming into the system. Now, what do you want?
My read on it, Giles, would be that as the skin is already there, it is being preserved. And once it's healed, it'll be healed but still preserved.
Yeah,
would be my guess.
Makes sense. Yeah.
I think, yeah. But we did need the preservation as soon as possible.
So,
wow.
So at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 45 hours after Kyros's. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, another 1, 2, 3, yes. 45 hours after Kyros's death, Kairos, very happy to say, not that you know this, but your body is preserved for minimum 30 weeks. It is preserved for 30 weeks.
Yay! Oh God! Thank you.
Amazing.
And I think. Sorry, Pete.
Oh, I was going to ask. Nicholas would, being humble, would want to get that information, so he would ask for exactly how long, and then would discuss that there's an understanding that they would have more healing to do on her. So I suppose we stay while that happens, and would want to have an idea of the regain of mental function. So what stats can go back up to, basically. So Alex can make a decision on but he would ask that as well.
Okay, sure thing. And I think that's probably a very good place that we put a plug in it for tonight. Are people happy to leave it there? Or do we want to play it?
Yep. Can I just check, has Aveline done the skin thing and the mental faculties thing too?
No, not yet.
Okay.
We'd pick that up first thing next time.
Cool.
Awesome. Oh, what a relief.
So glad I listened.
A very quiet game for some, a less quiet game for others, and for those that weren't in the session with the 3 people returning from the temple, strongly advise you have a watch, because it was a very, 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 I think, entertaining and fascinating insight into some characters. Hope you had fun, guys.
Yep.
Yeah,
great.
Well done, team. Well done.
Do the people in not the hero party, the other one, Twilight of the Old Order, just want to stay on for 2 secs?
Sure. Yep.
Who?
Yep. Sure.
I'll
Twilight party.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll sign off, guys. Tune in this time next week. See you.
Thank you so much.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.